Okay, hold on. Let me just get Audacity out.
You need to get Audacity up. Well, I'm already recording, and we're going to start
Steve,
recording
just
in
lift your
3,
shirt.
We're
2,
not doing Audacity.
1.
Mm.
Welcome to the Xbox Uncut Weekly Podcast, Dustin.
All I want to say is I don't think it'll be Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo making this one console future. It'll be AMD, if they're still a company.
Steve Rules.
The thing is, I'm not much of a Need for Speed player, but I do feel like perhaps that franchise has been in a bit of a strange position when they made the studio in Sweden and then they got Criterion to start doing it, and then they were like, oh, actually this year we're going to take a year off, which was last year, which it didn't sound like was originally the plan. I feel like they don't really know what to do with it.
Tim Dog.
This is my opinion on that.
All right.
Okay? They are not going to do anything other than promotion the hell out of this. The 500 is not discontinued. I already asked people about that. It's not discontinued.
Jason.
Like Forza they don't program in 0 to 60 numbers. They don't program in how tight a car can turn and how much traction a car has. They don't do any of that. But what they do is they put these statistics into their physics engine and they let their physics engine work it out for itself.
Thanks, guys. By the way, hit me up on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is BotcherHamZach. And then, what does GR period stand for? If you're in the Netherlands.
Grr.
Welcome to Xbox Uncuts Weekly Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin. I am here for another week of Game Awards. We have almost everybody back, I believe, except for Eric, because Eric just couldn't make it for... he's Eric, so...
It's like
busy
he's here.
quick looking.
Yeah. Well, let's just start off. We're going to get through this as fast as possible. I know, Tim, you have to leave the show early, so we're going to try to hit as many of these Game Awards as we can, so we can get to Game of the Year and Tim can have some input. I need to know. I need to know Tim's opinion. But, to start off, let's just go down the cast of crazy people we have this week. We have Jason from Xbox Uncut. Welcome to the show, Jason.
I really like grr at the end of the intro. I really like it.
As you may well have heard, I started cracking up at that and had to turn my microphone off because it was a bit too much. For some reason, I just wasn't anticipating it.
And that is the wonderful Steve Rules from SteveRules.com, where you can get all your favorite, fluff pieces.
Well, no, he added some stuff recently.
Oh,
wrote
Steve, tell me.
Like
I wrote
two things, right?
2,500 words yesterday.
Yeah.
I wrote my thoughts up on Knack, actually. I felt quite proud of that one.
Uh-huh.
After I finished it. And Tomb Raider. A few other bits and bobs. It was a good day.
You can check that out on SteveRules.com. Not that co.uk shit. SteveRules.com.
You can check .co.uk. It will just redirect you.
Yeah, to SteveRules.com, because we know where the proper website is.
.us.
We also have Chris, one saint, our true big fan.
That's right.
The man
back
behind the intros that you listen to every week. And I got to start re-downloading all of them because I kind of lost all of them. I feel bad. But,
Don't feel bad. They should all still be in the same place.
You want an archive?
I need an archive. I just need to be able to put random intros out like out some weeks, just like
That's
a
It sounds
throwbacks.
like you need some kind of ARC box.
Yeah, I need an ARC box of some sort. We have the one and only Vern. Welcome to the show, Vern.
Oh, thank you for the kind welcome, Dustin.
Oh, no, thank you.
No,
And
thank you.
A man without a place. The wonderful Tim Dog.
Thank you for having me on.
He's invited everywhere. He just doesn't have a place. Twitter,
invited.
Xbox Live, ARC. Look, this man right here. This dude got the highest level in ARC I've ever seen without a ratchet. Like, he was just sitting there like, or a hatchet. Like, he was just going around, like, beating the crap out of animals with his fists. Because that's what Tim Dog does.
No, actually, it sounded more like, no, I died again.
Look, all we knew the whole time playing is like this should be streamed. Like we need to stream. Just have Tim on a mic, just sitting there yelling at it the whole time. Why? Why? And it'd be perfect.
That game does that to you, man.
Yeah,
I like
permadeath
it.
sucks. It's something I'm not used to, being primarily only a console gamer.
But talking
Yeah, it
about
doesn't hold
Ark,
your hand.
I gotta take,
We were on 6 hours last night.
yeah, we were on way too freaking long.
So are we gonna do a retro active change to our?
Yeah, I think we put an asterisk on it so we could do this. Early Access Game of the Year is now Ark Survival Edition. It's that fucking good.
I'd like to vote for Sheltered, and I think we should reopen the bidding.
Okay, go for it. You have 2 minutes to state your case.
I'm not going to do that.
Because I'm going to beat you with layers of fear, and then I'm going to
Shit.
say I give the floor to Ark.
Yeah, to be honest, this category was fixed from the very beginning. So
Ark's that damn good, Steve. Just because you haven't played it yet, because you haven't spent the money, the 35 cold hard
well, there
dollars.
is a free trial which I do own, but it was that kind of thing where you're just like, oh, I really need to try that, and I'm like, yeah, but I could go and play expedition modes on Tomb Raider instead, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go do that instead.
Or you could be getting a Brontosaurus and calling it like Skittles and then going stomping on people. Just saying. Just saying.
Jason's got a new nickname.
Sparkles.
Yeah, it's Sparkles.
It's also the name of our dinosaur.
Yeah.
Sparkles.
Sparkles is an important member of a team of dinosaurs. Important member.
She's the first.
Along with Bubba Gump
Bubba Gump, Aquaman, because
and Elvis.
And Elvis?
Yeah. Well, see,
Aquaman
Aquaman.
His name is Aquaman because when I tamed him, he was literally underwater. So I was like, it's
It's
Aquaman.
fitting.
He was breathing underwater.
I think Maria needs to name a dinosaur next. I'm curious
yes.
what she'll come up with.
But the Fuzzy Doom Brigade is alive, it's strong, and Ark. Just wanted to put it out there.
Multiple servers.
Multiple servers have the Fuzzy Doom Brigade running around. Our plan is to be on every server. That's the plan. We probably won't succeed, but that's where we're going to go with it. But we need to kind of get right into game, get back into these awards because, like I said, Tim has to leave early. We're kind of clowning around now, but I want to get through these. So let's just start right off with Remaster of the Year, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Zombie, Rare Replay, Borderlands The Handsome Collection, and Resident Evil Remastered. Where do y'all sit? What, Vern, what mantle are you picking up?
I'm feeling a Rare Replay here. I know Steve won't like it because he's a big old Gears fan, and I did like the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, but I think it's going to be Rare Replay.
Okay.
Hold on one second. My wife's bothering me.
Steve.
Blimey, you're brave. My wife is
Steve?
bothering me.
Steve, I need to know, Steve. Are you gonna champion Gears of War?
Well, there's only one true contender for this, and it is Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
All right. Chris?
So yeah,
Man.
consider that beatdown.
I don't know if I could even top that. I'm going to go with Vern. I'm going to say Rare Replay. It brings a lot of nostalgic back that I personally have. Just being able to play, even the Killer Instinct 2 Gold on the Nintendo 64 brings back memories, but RC Pro Am 2, those are ingrained in me. I spent hours playing those on the NES, so it's got to be Rare Replay. Plus the value is there. $30, 30 games. You could find it on sale even too. So and it's going to be on sale probably.
Okay, stop selling your pitch, sir. We'll get to that soon.
Okay, well,
All right.
can I talk about it now?
What? No, you cannot, sir. No, you cannot.
I didn't have
Tim.
time because
Tim, which game are you championing today?
I'm gonna go.
Tim.
I'm gonna go with Gears Ultimate because I played both. I feel like the 60 frames per second makes a big difference in the multiplayer on Gears. I played a couple of matches, but I can definitely see why. I could see the advancement in it, and the fluidity is definitely there. That wasn't there before. I liked Rare Replay, but I mean, it's just I just felt like Gears just edged it out. I think there was more done there as far as the game itself.
Yeah.
They championed it. I felt a little bit better. I feel like the package on Rare Replay can definitely be, argued. It's
No,
a
no,
tough
it can.
one. It's
But,
a tough one, but for me, it's due to the primarily the 60 frames per second in the multiplayer. I feel like it's a big difference, and just the overall package. How much they put into it. It looks fantastic. Single player. More so, obviously, in multiplayer. But
all right, Tim. All right, I just need to get through Jason real quick, and then I'll let y'all battle it out. Jason, do you have any other game? Like, are you in the Rare Replay Gears of War camp? Where are you sitting? Maybe Zombie?
If it wasn't
Hey,
for
there's
Gears,
no E on that, okay? There's no E. I will pronounce it Zombie till the day I die.
What if you
If it-
pronounce it in Italian?
That's true. But I'm not Italian. I'm American. All right, America.
But words
Can I-
don't end in I in
Can
English, do they really?
I don't.
can I go now?
Oh no, they do. Mini, M-I-N-I.
Yeah, look at that Zombie.
No, M-I-N-I is pronounced mini. So it's zombie.
I'm glad we're off to a strong start here.
Vern, pull in the diction card. All right.
If
Jason.
it wasn't for Rare playing Gears, I would have went Borderlands. I just want to say they did a fantastic job with that remaster and collection. But I gotta go with Gears, man.
Yes.
Sorry.
There was one thing that I wanted to. Dustin, you said to me pre-show that the package for Gears of War Ultimate Edition doesn't count, but I would like to challenge you on
Okay.
something that we're talking about. This is the 2015 Game of the Year awards, and throughout 2015, Gears of War Ultimate Edition will come with those 4 Xbox 360 games. So I do feel like for the periods that we're talking about, because Gears of War won't be valid for next year's, I feel that those backwards compatible games actually are valid.
I
say
get
something?
your point. Wait a second. One second. Just one. I get your point, and I agree. Those games are completely valid for 2015, except for the fact that you couldn't play them on release. You just couldn't. They actually only started with that game till later in the month. And then they started handing out codes and letting people play Gears of War. You got a
Also-
response?
But they were part of that package for 2015.
Yeah, but you couldn't play them. It would be like saying there's DLC in the future, and it's gonna happen. Yeah, and it hasn't come out yet.
Also, the Gears codes are limited. Isn't it only a limited time? The
Through
Rare
December,
Replay
yeah.
collection, the Rare Replay collection's forever. You got 30 games forever.
Yeah, but my argument is that those codes are limited throughout the entirety of 2015, which is the period upon which we're considering.
Well, it's a shitty argument.
Yeah, because it's just
Fuck you.
limited.
Fuck you.
Wait,
I
I'm
actually agree with
considering-
you, Steve, but
Steve,
I don't think I should go in the.
I think with it being
because
being
it's a 2015
2015,
list.
and it's all in 2015. I don't know.
Yeah, but people are going
It's
to
up
look
to
at this
Dusty.
list next year and say, "Oh wow, Gears of War 1. I should get that
It's
game."
gonna win anyway.
Wait a
Wait a
second.
second.
Wait a second.
It doesn't
Pause.
have the games.
Pause. See, because it's a 2015 list, I have to ask myself with Halo, do I discount it because it didn't have Horde or Forge at launch? Do we have to discount that because it didn't?
No,
launch with
because
that?
Forge. No, because Forge is there before the end of the year, and it will be there after. It'll be there in January.
But hold on,
Whereas
but
in Gears of
what about
War,
B2B?
it won't be there in January
What
anymore.
about Big Team Battle?
It's just gone. Big Team Battle's there already too.
Yeah, but they weren't there at launch.
Yeah, but it's there now before the end of the year.
Yeah, and Gears is there now. It's like
No, but
It's-
Gears is going to be
it's-
gone at the end of the year.
It's like turning around and saying that you can't have Madden or
Dude,
FIFA.
it's gonna be gone, and people who are
It's like putting Madden or FIFA in the sports game, thinking, well, you know what? In a couple of years' time, they're going to turn the servers off.
Okay,
but you gotta remember, these Game of the Year selections, they last. They will always be Game of the Year selections by us all the way into the future.
How many people do you think are going to be checking this in
Hey, it's about integrity.
Hey, okay, look, okay, Steve, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to acknowledge that the games exist and they come packaged in for free. I'll acknowledge that. I'll give you that point. But I don't want to hear that point no more. I need you to make other points. That is going to get you like the tiniest little iota of help. Like it's not. You need to put up a good reason why Gears of War Ultimate Edition is the way it needs to be, and it's not just you could play Gears 3 and it didn't run at a great frame rate. And
what do you mean? Does it run at a great frame rate?
It's not a solid 30 frames per second.
This is a debate for another day. Okay.
No, but you know what? Like I'm acknowledging it. I'm giving you your point.
I appreciate that, Dustin.
But I like I said, you need to make other points. Like this,
just
going. It comes with 4 games. Like I don't care. I'm not. I'm going to tell you. You can chuck that out the window.
Okay.
But I will acknowledge it. I will acknowledge it.
Deal. I appreciate that.
For you, Steve, MVP of the year.
Thank you.
All right, Steve. Give me reasons why Gears of War Ultimate Edition is your remaster of the year.
This is the Coalition's first project. Well, the first project that actually released. I think it's actually their 4th project, but let's not get into that. What they did to that game, okay, is they completely ripped out all the graphics. They redid them. They brought back life to a legendary multiplayer game. 60 frames a second. It looks astounding. It plays astounding. You know, the sort of fixes that they did, the maps. When I'm talking about the package, I'm not talking about the BC games. I'm talking about the package in Ultimate Edition being, they got the 19 maps, you got the 6 modes, Team Deathmatch, 60 FPS. They redid obviously the graphics. The campaign is redone as well. The campaign is great. You know, it looks phenomenal. And I think that they've shown that they understand what that game looks like, because there are a lot of differences. Gone is the atmosphere for sort of the original, because the sort of limitations of the 360, not that it didn't look fantastic at the time, was that, you know, it was great and it was moody, whereas this has taken that and replaced it with what looks like a genuine atmosphere detail. That is a stunning looking game. It runs, I never had any problems. I think it looks stunning. You know, they've packed in the additional campaign chapters, which I'd never played before. I suppose most 360 owners probably didn't play most of them, and that was great, which made the game longer. And I think, you know, you look at what they're pushing for, which is the esports, and they made sure they hit that 60 frames a second, looks stunning, it plays stunning. You know, as a sort of the beginning of my argument, I just think, you know, what they've put together is a great achievement. It is a true remastered. Nothing's been held back. They've added things. They've put in a Ultimate Edition as it is, just by itself, is the ultimate package, and they've gone beyond a remaster. And I think that it looks great. They didn't just slap it in 60 and up-res it. They literally redid all of the graphical assets. Looks stunning.
Okay. Vern, why is Rare Replay?
Well, first off, we've already talked about this. 30 games, $30. Okay. Second, if you haven't played a lot of these games made by Rare over time, this is a great way to get introduced to what they're all about, and not just because of the games that are included. First off, the presentation's awesome. Right when you start it up, you get like a whole theme song, including all the characters with this theater presentation. Once you start the game, every single game has its own little window with a new theater presentation with all the cardboard and wood cutouts and stuff, just like you would see in old time theater, with different music for each individual each game, the way it's presented. second, besides that, the spectrum of games is incredible. Like you start off with the Ultimate Play the Game stuff, you move into the Nintendo stuff, then you go into what? There's no Super Nintendo stuff. That's the only bummer about this package. Then you have all the Nintendo 64 stuff, then the 360 stuff as well. Um, the only bummer I'd say is the 360 games are emulated, but like the original Xbox game, like Grab by the Ghoulies was actually remastered because that's actually rendered in 1080p and it controls really great. Let's see. Besides that, I love the progression in the game because they give you stamps for every little thing you do inside of the game, and as you unlock these stamps, you unlock all sorts of behind the scenes stuff. So you get behind the scenes videos showing like how the games were made. You'll get stuff about the artwork. You'll get interviews with the employees at Rare about the culture of the studio. So it kind of works as like a history lesson on the company as well. So for people who are big fans of Rare, it's also great because it's almost like a love letter has been written to them or created for them in this sense. Besides that, I also like the snapshots feature that was added to it. That's a whole lot of fun. For all the old games leading up from the Ultimate Play the Game through the Nintendo games, they make like what 5 different snapshots, which are like these mini portions of a game you have to complete, and as you complete them you get more stamps which unlock all the different stuff. There's a ton of gamer score too, so if you're gamer score horror, the game's great. But more than anything, I just love the presentation. It just feels right. It feels like you can see the direction where the company's going, what they love to do, and what they want to bring to their fans.
All right, Tim, any kind of points or what
I think you guys pretty much went around. I agree with both everyone, to be honest. But I just give the nod for the overall package.
Oh, one more thing. They also gave the enhanced controls for some of the Nintendo games in the past. What, like Jet Force
Rewind.
Gemini? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they also added the rewind feature for all the
Yeah.
old Nintendo games and also the ZX Spectrum games. So if you don't really have I guess the skill to play those games, you could at least get through them and see what the developers have created in the past. So I like that as well.
Jason, you gotta.
I'd like to say, as far to add on to what Steve said, I don't think he mentioned that the cutscenes were also completely redone, not just remastered, but actually reshot.
That's a great point.
To give new feeling for the idea going into the future and for the story just in that game itself. And not to mention, I love the fact that they struck the correct balance in keeping it original, like the city AI, but also like in the multiplayer, they balanced it.
They still haven't fixed the shotgun though, right? It's
Yes,
kind
they
of
did.
all over.
They fixed it
They
ages
fixed
ago.
it.
Completely?
That was
Or is it
that was months ago.
But
I thought it's still different from when you're aiming and when you're not aiming though, right?
No, it's all fixed months ago.
Okay.
But I think that's cool that they actually went down, and they weren't afraid to actually. I mean, they were afraid at first, but they weren't afraid to actually go out there and balance what they thought needed done to make the game fun for people to play now, while at the same time keeping it good for those that just want to replay the experience. And I think the game looks absolutely fantastic. The way they redid all the multiplayer maps, and they look great.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing in co-op, then you start getting a lot of dips into the low 20s.
Yeah, but that's been pretty on par for this generation with a lot of co-op.
No, I'm not talking about split screen co-op. I'm talking about regular co-op.
Oh, regular co-op, yeah.
Yes, when Dustin and I played through almost the second half of the game together, and we had some serious frame rate issues just because we were playing co-op.
I'm going to put that down to lag. I played the entire thing in co-op, never had any problems. Online co-op.
Fight.
This was at a time where you were having internet issues, Fern.
Boom.
Whoa.
But there was
No, it
always
was
that
frame rate
chance.
issues,
Ah.
not network.
Okay. No,
Well-
I'm just saying. I'm just giving credence on the internet thing, but
Those
like
are
you said, frame
different.
rate.
Steve has a pretty good eye, though.
Objection.
Frame rate. I'm not talking about network.
Okay. Chris.
Let me ask
need
you
your
guys
input.
this.
your
Well,
input.
before I really ask a question, Battletoads. I mean, you get 2 Battletoads game, you get the original NES game, you get the unreleased, realistically, on a console anyways, of Battletoads Arcade. But the question I want to ask you guys is one game better than 30? No.
5 games.
Rare replay.
Well, hold on. Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Gears of War, the original, is better than any of those games. And all of them put together.
I don't know. I mean, Gears is great.
It's
However,
fantastic.
it is. I'm not denying that. But I got to give it to Rare Replay. Like I said, just because of the nostalgic factor. You know, there's a lot of kids that have never even seen these games, never even thought about ever being able to play them. So they're getting that chance, and that's a great thing to remember these old games. I love the old NES games. I love some of the old Nintendo 64 games. Those are great.
And the ZX Spectrum games are really overlooked. They're a lot of fun. I didn't like them at first when I was just going through them one at a time, but once I did the snapshots and it explained kind of what the goal was in all these individual games, I started having a blast with them. They're really good.
All right. Well, I think.
Can I just add a bit? Can I just add a bit more? So, well, this is sort of something I wanted to put on. We talked about the cutscenes, which look phenomenal. I think they also
But they're not in game though.
I just want to
but
just
who
Steve.
cares?
They're part of the game. It doesn't
Steve,
matter.
if Dustin picks Rare, please don't curse him out. That's all I just ask.
Fuck you, Dusty. I'm saying it now.
If he picks Rare Replay, he will get the suitable response which I consider appropriate. I always like to say about the multiplayer, because I think that's in a remaster like this, the multiplayer of which you've got to get right, and the way that they added the leveling system, which wasn't introduced until Gears of War 2, along with some of the other features like the TACCOM and the spotting. I think that really added a lot of longevity. The achievements are really good as well, which I think is nice. And there's a double XP weekend going on, which I definitely think counts for a couple of points.
I don't know about all that.
But seriously, the leveling system it is really good. You know, promotes you to.
What I don't
keep
get
playing
though,
and-
okay, you have this Ultimate Edition. Where's all the behind the scenes stuff? Why isn't that on there? Why didn't we get like a look into the original creation of the game? If they're trying to make a game for fans, why is that stuff lacking?
Because it wasn't like 30 years ago. There's plenty of stuff of Cliffy B talking about it all over the internet.
Well, why not put it on that disc?
I agree with
Well,
Vern.
What do you want me to put it in and see if there is any on there?
The only thing they have on there is the comics.
Yeah, well, that's good. You know, that helps flesh out the lore. You know, they're the collectibles. I think that's a good improvement in the package. I think
Alright.
you're
Alright,
comparing
guys.
30-year-old
this to a
games
draw.
to a 9-year-old game that was very much in the public spotlight.
I would just like to add that Gears of War is an actual remaster that actually went back and redid all the textures in the game, redid effects, rebalanced.
I know. I've heard. I'm taking everything everybody said. I'm jumbling it in my head. I just want to catch on a few points. So it's over. There's no adding to this. I'm going to go over what y'all said. First of all, y'all fucked up with Rare Replay, because all you had to say is Dustin has Viva Pinata 1 and 2. And
Yeah,
I
there's
would have
that
fucking
too.
been. No, it's over.
It has
You didn't
Viva
say
Pinata 1
it.
and
You did
2.
not say it. You did not
shut
say
your
it.
mouth.
I
You
actually
hurt
don't
me.
like those games.
You
so-
hurt me. I love those games. They're the best games on fucking Rare Replay.
No,
You did not
they're the
mention
worst
them one
games.
time.
They're the
Not
worst
one
games on
time.
Rare Replay. I don't care if you don't pick it
No,
now.
no.
I'm gonna say it.
Best games.
Nope.
Steve mentioned a lot of stats. Not a lot of I just like the love. I mean, the combat system, yeah. But hearing both arguments,
Oh,
I'm gonna give it with Gears. Gears is better. It's
All right.
completely redone.
Enjoy your Gears remaster.
I
liked
just
it
want to
too.
throw it out there. I personally would have chose Rare Replay, but his argument's better.
Dustin,
no.
I'd like to thank you for your efforts towards,
I try to be unbiased, but Rare Replay was fantastic and deserves be on its own little cloud. But Gears of War, for the fact that they completely redid everything and went through, I think it's worth every penny. Yes, Rare Replay gives you 30 games, and it's an amazing package, but there's a lot of things where you're kind of like, well, I'm not playing that shit again. Skip to the next game, and you hit all 30, and then you stop playing it, and you never go back to it, no matter how amazing that package is. And trust me, I can say that because I have all of you on my Xbox Live friends list, and I know exactly how much you've played Rare Replay.
I've played it twice.
You went through, you played all the games, you went, wow, that's amazing, and it kind of stops.
I didn't do very well on the first two. Went and played Jetpack Refueled and then deleted it.
But it was an amazing
snapshots.
repackage.
You gotta play the snapshots. You'll have a lot more fun.
Gears came out like 3 weeks later, so I had to brace myself.
Yeah. But Gears, congratulations, Gears of War Ultimate Edition. You were the best remaster of the year. And it's a hard choice between the two.
I just want to say I'm not as big of a Gears fanboy as Steve. I just want to make that clear.
No one is.
No.
Steve takes
Gears
it to
is
another level.
pretty much the best franchise that this industry's got. So.
You mean Forza? I agree.
All right,
Forza's
moving down.
garbage.
Let's move on. Games not on Xbox of the year: Splatoon, Bloodborne, Super Mario Maker, Rocket League, Planet Base, The Order 1886. It's fucking garbage, by the way. Maybe it has some good art and music, but the rest of it is shit edition. And Xenoblade.
That was unnecessary.
Oh no, that game
necessary.
is pretty fucking garbage, and it's only on this list as a fucking joke. Like this, it doesn't deserve to be on this list. It's not a good game. It's already
Well,
off
just
of
don't
it.
put it on the list. Why be mean about it?
It was a joke. But
It was
that's
a joke.
that's
Can I
It's a
say
fanboy. It's a fanboy joke. We're
I'm
above
really-
that, guys.
I'm really
No.
glad.
We're above that.
No,
We
we are.
haven't done
No,
it
no.
all year. Like we've been like real nice, but that game's that bad.
Oh, we didn't put Drive Club Bikes on there.
Drive
That's what
Club
you should've
Bikes.
put on.
I'll put Drive Club Bikes. Drive Club Bikes.
That's DLC, not a game.
Bikes.
It's
No,
actually
Has it
not
come
there.
out
as
yet?
well.
It has come out, right?
That's not a
Yeah.
game, though. It's
You
DLC.
combine
Hey, if you
standalone.
really want to argue for Drive
So?
Club Bikes over these other games, go for it. But
Forza
I doubt
Horizon
you
2
will.
is Fast and Furious is standalone, too. Can we put that on the list?
Well, that
Alright.
was that was under best DLC/expansion. Also,
Alright,
that is on
guys.
Xbox.
Guys,
I know
pause.
But it's not a game.
Wait,
what do you
I
want
thought
to
we were
defend?
doing best game other than Xbox.
Yeah, that's
We
what
are.
I'm talking. What
It was on 360. Oh wait.
Yeah,
this
it was.
one.
It was on
Is there-
360.
Is there any game y'all want to champion? Anybody?
Rocket League.
It's a
Starting
great
to
choice.
feel like, does Planet Base need me?
It's just a stupid top-down game, right?
You're just
Remember-
a stupid top-down game.
You
Just
can all
click
just
thing.
go Rocket League.
You just click things, right? In Planet Base.
I'm not sure you really understand Rocket League anyway.
I played Rocket League. Rocket League's good.
The complexity of soccer cars. I'm just not sure that's.
Yeah, I did it in Forza a few years before that.
All right,
tell you
I
what.
need people. No, we're trying to get so Tim can do these awards. People, I need ideas. Hey,
I'm
I
going-
think
I'm
I
going
got
Rocket
Vern's
League.
Rocket League. So is everybody going Rocket League?
No,
No. Well, Chris, what do you want to champion?
I'm just gonna say Bloodborne only because I think it looks cool. I never played any of it, so
I'm going.
that's it. I really don't have any opinion other
here-
than I just.
here's-
think
It's really
here's the thing,
boring.
Chris. If you haven't played it, you can't defend it.
Well, I mean,
Apologize.
I'm just saying.
You
No, I'm
just
just
voted.
saying you can't like your vote doesn't
you asked
mean
him,
anything.
what did you
Well,
want
no, but this is the best game that's not on Xbox. It doesn't mean it shouldn't mean that if I played
It's
it.
the
right?
best reviewed game that's not on Xbox.
Yeah.
Basically.
We can say that. It could win the best reviewed
But
game.
I'll
not
put
on
it this way,
Xbox.
Chris. If I asked you why does Bloodborne deserve to be this game, you couldn't really explain it to me other than it looks cool.
I could say I
like-
like the art. I could say the combat kind of looks interesting.
That's gonna win this debate hands down. Looks kind of interesting, like the art. I'll take it. Your
But again,
argument's
it's the best game that's not on Xbox. I mean, I don't have a PlayStation 4 right now, so it would be my because Rocket League's coming. So I mean,
no,
realistically,
but this is for 2015, sir. It's for 2015.
all right, fair enough. I don't have a horse in this race. Then I will bow out.
Yeah, you
Tim?
get that.
I'm gonna go with Splatoon,
Splatoon.
just because I feel like it's taken I think it's third. It's It's a third person shooter, correct? Multiplayer.
Yes.
I just think the art style and it did something different than what's been done before. It has that cartoon aspect. I really like the art style, and it's quirky and funny. It's for me. I have a Wii U, and I'm definitely planning on purchasing this. It is out of the list my most anticipated game to buy.
I
Just
hate
like I
to
said.
ask, have you played it before?
No, I have not played it.
Because that's the exact same thing I just tossed Chris out.
So you can throw me out.
It's
I
Rocket
hate to
League.
say, I can't really go. The art style looks cool. Like it's not going to hold up to Vern going. Well, I played Rocket League for this many hours and got.
And I can't give that. I cannot give it to that.
I understand you don't have to vote, but I
Right.
just want people to actually have.
I'll bow out as well. I mean, I
Jason?
played it. I think at one for 5 minutes, but I
I
can't.
could defend Bloodborne. I've played it, but I don't feel like it.
I'm starting to think that if I defect to planet base here, I might actually have a pretty good chance of winning.
Why would I defend a
It would be
PlayStation
you versus Vern, right?
But then we can move on to the next category.
Okay, let's go Rocket League.
Rocket League. Rocket League is the game of 2015 that we all wanted. We didn't have. We all knew it needed Xbox Live Party Chat, and it had that god awful PSN Party Chat. And that's why I bought it on PC too, because it actually you can hear people. It's nice. You don't. It's hard to explain people. Broken launch of the year. So this category has a special place in all of our hearts. Because I think we determined that exactly what this meant was it was broken, but you kept playing it because it was awesome.
In spite of it being broken, it was still amazing. Like,
yeah.
That's
How
the
much
idea behind
shit
it.
were you willing to put up with to play?
I'm gonna say
Cars.
first off. I'm gonna say first off. Even though I didn't play a whole ton of it, I played a little of the game. I think Fallout 4 deserves to win this.
I completely disagree.
All right, let me just go through the list real quick. Project Cars, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Witcher 3, Fallout 4, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Telltale, all of them.
Can we argue against a game not winning it?
No, you're going to have to choose a game. Look, this is what you can do. If you want to argue against, Vern's game, and Steve picks another game, you can argue Steve's point and then tear down Vern's point.
All right.
This is point counterpoint. You can't say, well, no, that
okay,
sucks
Steve,
because
you
of
be
this reason.
the defense, I'll be the attack. I don't care what game you pick.
So, Vern,
Okay.
you're saying Fallout is... No, wait. Which one are you choosing? You just don't want Fallout to win, Vern, or do you want to play
No, I think Fallout 4 should win, and the reason is, it sounds like it has a whole shit ton of issues, man. It's got a ton of issues.
Have you actually experienced this?
I haven't experienced the issues.
Well, then
but
you
in
can't-
but in spite of all of these issues, people are still playing this fucking game and loving it, man. They are really dealing with it, and more so than people had to deal with The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 had some things, but it didn't have as many game-breaking bugs as Fallout 4, or with the stuff that happened in Ori and the Blind Forest with it getting stuck in the water. You know?
Well, I can tell you, Vern, I put 100 hours in that game. I've probably never come across a bug once.
You were the luckiest person on the fucking planet.
I must be.
No, this is why. If you told
There's
me it
game-breaking
wasn't that
stuff.
bad, I would have been like, okay, that's fine. But if you told me you've never came across one bug, it's a Bethesda game. You could just get in the
All right, I
menu
might
and there's
have
going to be a bug.
Not a game-breaking bug. I might have come across a random. Oh,
it's
that
changing
guy's
the story
flipping in
now.
that tree. But that I don't.
But what games had? It was just mainly Fallout and Ori that had real game-breaking bugs here. Besides
Project
maybe Metal Gear
Cars.
Solid having
Project
No.
Cars is really
Hold on.
game-broken.
The Witcher
There
3
is-
had game-breaking bugs.
The fact that
It wasn't
you couldn't control your
game-breaking.
character.
I didn't think I could always control my character. The problem that I had.
Oh,
was
the experience
audio
bug. It did have the experience bug with Witcher 3.
Hey, Vern, let me tell you about Project Cars, where you couldn't even control the fucking car because they fucked up all the controller support from
Yeah.
launch.
But no one
Anyone
kept
with a
playing it.
controller- Yes, people did. People
Oh.
did keep playing it.
Okay.
But they completely. You literally could not drive the car with a controller. That's how fucked they were.
Uh-huh.
But people continue playing it.
Huh.
It's literally fucked without a will. It has audio issues that go in and out constantly. Even now, it's still not fixed. The frame rate drops even when the time of day is static.
So are you
With
picking
one car on
Project
the screen-
Cars?
I had to go Project. The game is so fun. It's still broken. It should
is
be
it
still
good?
broken. It should be still broken game of the year.
But like, even though it's broken, do you want to keep playing
wanna
it?
Play it?
Me personally, no. But I know people that do continue playing it, even though it is broken.
Uh,
It's a tough one then.
yeah. Chris?
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Well, because you said it's a broken game that you kept on playing. I mean, I would guess I would vote Witcher, but I mean, fucking Ori, man. I kept getting frame drops at this one spot, and it kept killing me and killing me and killing me, and it finally made me quit, and I haven't gone back, and I really don't care, and I probably never will because it killed me so much. The game lost all its majesty to
Get
me.
good.
I am good.
Get
The
good.
goddamn
Get
game
good.
fucking frame dropped.
Tim beat Ori. He
38
died
hours.
tons and tons of times.
Was it like
what
half
he
the
kept going?
13,859
I'm changing my argument. It's got to be Ori because Tim. Just because Tim.
But no, for me, because Ori, it would frame drop and it would kill my controller, and I couldn't do anything, so I would just keep falling into the thorns and dying.
But by
So-
your own admission, you didn't keep playing it.
No, you're right, and it is the broken game of the year that you kept playing. So it's going to be The Witcher because The Witcher is the fucking
Okay.
greatest game ever. I love The Witcher.
It's one of them.
Better than Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
officially changing mine to Ori though because of Tim. I think that's enough argument right there.
Wow.
It's a solid argument.
Tim had so much trouble with it,
I'm
he
s-
changed the name of it. It's the Blimflamus now.
Look, Steve, I'll get back to you in just a minute. Tim, do you want to give a go? to
Yeah,
your-
well, I played all of them. I haven't finished all of them. Finished most of them. But my pick is Fallout 4 because I tried to play it twice, and I'm not kidding you. Both times I tried to load it up, both times it crashed. So I have not.
It is a Bethesda game. Yeah.
Yeah, both times. Honestly, both times, because that's the type of game when you get into it, you're just dead on into it. Both times I loaded it, and it was at two different occasions. Both times it crashed. I don't know if it's an install issue. I got to reinstall it, but both times it crashed, and I just went back to Tomb Raider. So that's my pick.
Okay.
Yes, but did the controls work?
Didn't even load. It went to the
Didn't-
page
yeah.
and just went right to the.
But you didn't
dash.
keep playing it though.
No, I tried to play it
understand.
twice.
Understand. All right. Steve, which
I think that there's actually only one winner of this, and that is Telltale. Would you like me to explain why, or should we
please
just move
go
to the next
for
round?
it. No.
Because let's look at these other studios, okay? Project
No.
Cars was...
Wait a sec.
Well,
Tell me
I'm trying
about
to-
Telltale first, because
Okay, well, I was kind of making a grander point, but okay. How many... Telltale have released multiple games this year, right? They are a huge studio, particularly in comparison to some of the other ones. They've got a shitload of money, right? I played 4 of their games this year. 2 of them released this year. But all 4 of them have got the exact same fucking problem, right? The engine is garbage, right? And for a game that is pretty reliant on you watching cutscenes and putting in inputs at very specific times, right? It's a big fucking problem if I cannot put the inputs in because the game is literally turning into a slideshow, right? When I finished Tales from the Borderlands, this really fucking pissed me off, right? The very last bit of the last episode, no spoilers, it literally turned into a slideshow. Every time it tried to transition between looking from one thing to another, right? It was fucking PowerPoint. I'm not joking. That is how bad it got. It is
It
a
was bad.
disgrace. And all of their games are the same. Game of Thrones is the same. I played the 2 Walking Dead. I know they didn't come out this year. They came out last year on Xbox One. But they're all exactly the same. Now, those 2 shouldn't count for this year. But the point is that this is a significant continued problem of broken launches that they don't seem to be fixing. I haven't played Minecraft. Maybe Dustin can chime in a bit here. But their games are exactly the same. And it's fucking ridiculous.
Minecraft, you think works really well for like first third of the
First
game?
game. Yeah.
If episode 1, the first third of it actually runs, you're kind of like, they did it. Like they've changed it. Then it just starts to drop frames, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And you just, it looks good though, like because there's not much going on in it, but it does chug.
But you
And,
could
and it's
actually play.
it's cynical.
I gotta say, I'm down to 2 games. Everybody else, y'all are out. It's up to Ori and the Blind Forest and Telltale Game. I hate to say Vern has a harder fight.
Hey,
well,
come on. Hey, look. Dusty.
you didn't continue to play Project Cars. The
I
majority.
did. I went back and tried multiple times to continue playing that game. Because we got a $1,000 wheel set up.
Yeah, but that's a money. Look, I'm just saying, Ori and the Blind Forest and the Telltale Games
Well, listen to
both
this.
have extremely
And this was
intriguing
broken the
stories.
launch of the year, too.
Maria got the water glitch and had to restart, or was thinking about restarting. And I actually offered to play all the way up to that point for her, just so she wouldn't have to restart. That's how much I like Ori, and how much I think it should be played in spite of any broken issues it has.
I've played
Steve,
4 Telltale games this year, and I've still got another one to play. And there's another one that's coming
the
out in
best
February.
one.
And there's another one coming out in February.
But you have all these games to point to. I don't have that luxury. That's
but-
unfair.
Well, yeah, but
You should get to pick one game.
Well, fuck, Tales from the Borderlands. What difference does it make? But Ori was made by like 10 people in a basement, multiple basements.
All over the world.
Whereas Telltale are a studio that pride themselves on the fact that every couple of years or something they double their staff count. There are hundreds of people working in there. They are overstretched, and these problems exist not just on one platform. They exist on every fucking platform. It is cynical, and I would, in my personal opinion, considering that Ori got patched, which it did, and the Telltale games do not. Telltale is a cynical business decision to not put the amount of effort they should do into their engine, or in the Blind Forest was an accident.
All right. Well,
Hey,
after
you know.
hearing both sides, and since we changed the title of this category like 10 times in the past like 2 weeks, I'm going to go with Ori and the Blind Forest. It was fucking awful, the water glitch, and it destroyed people's lives. Like, people played that game, they went in, they loved it, and then they fucking got stuck in the fucking water and couldn't do anything. It ruined people's, time. Like, it just destroyed their... But then, like Vern said, they restarted it again and did it again. And it was fucking broken... And it took forever to patch.
And it wasn't just the water glitch. There were random spots in the world where people would fall through and they would be stuck because of the save system.
There were times when I actually thought that I was at a point where it was glitched out. I mean, there was a point where I honestly could not figure out the next point to go on. I mean, I spent 36 hours on the game, so about 6 of those hours, I really thought I was glitched out. But
hey, Chris, did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Tim is a more patient man than I am because I just stopped giving a fuck. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. I lost all interest in that game.
I was close.
I
was close.
I couldn't do it, man. I just could not deal with that frustration.
Okay, now I just want to make the caveat, now that I've put the judgment out, broken launch of the year is nothing to be fucking pleased of, no matter which one of these fucking games are. It's not something like, we had the best game that was fucked up! Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it was fucked up.
I do think Project Cars deserves a special mention for a game that people spent $60 for, but
And
they literally
crowdfunded it?
couldn't play. They literally couldn't play.
And
If
still
you had a
can't.
controller, you literally could not play that game.
No, it's like none of these are, like I said.
Yeah, but you could play those games. You could actually, every single game on this category, you could have played at launch. You might have come across a bug that stopped you, but Project Cars, you literally could not play. It was that bad. Dusty, I know you know because you saw me try.
Yeah, It's on a do
You
not
couldn't.
buy list for sure. But for Broken Launch of the Year, it's about wanting to play it and continuing to do it. Project Cars was just too fucking broken to even give it that kind of credit. Well, or he remade you redo. Some people played it 4 times over just to get past the fucking water part. Like, it's kind of the game that the story
remember,
and
guys,
its theme was awesome.
Remember, they're already kickstarting Project Cars too. Go ahead, go throw them.
Yeah, that was a spit in the face. DLC of the year: Destiny: The Taken King,
Boo.
Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, Sunset Overdrive: Dawn of the Rise of the Fallen Machines. Forza Horizon 2 presents Fast and the Furious, and I know it's not on the list, but Grand Theft Auto Heist
That's
deserves to
Destiny,
be on the
man.
list.
Destiny.
It's clearly Sunset Overdrive.
No, it was a good DLC, but it was really small. It doesn't deserve a DLC of the Year award. I mean, look at Destiny. That just completely revamped the game. It actually added story to the game.
Yeah, but if Destiny wasn't so shit in the first place, it wouldn't have needed revamping. You don't get win points for that.
Yeah, you
No,
do.
but wait a second. If this was 2014's list, you would have a point. It's not. It's 2015. And the problems, and this is a person that hates Destiny. I'm not a fan. I think it's overrated. But Destiny had most of its shit kind of worked out with the first 2 DLCs that weren't the Taken King. And the Taken King's DLC deserves
really
to be
solid.
in this list. It's a solid DLC. It's not, well, it's not, I shouldn't say solid. It's a fucking fantastic DLC package.
Yeah.
I don't think you can sell it short, Steve. And this is a person that's not like fucking Destiny, yeah! Like, no, that's not me. That's not this guy. No. But
what was what you had to pay to get this experience on top of if you already owned Destiny?
$40. But it was a full expansion. This wasn't like, something you would have to pay $20 for. It felt like you got your $40 worth with this game.
So in order to get a fixed game, you had to spend $100.
No, because they added fixes to the old game. Like all the changes they made to the old stuff, you still get for free if you had the old game. You know what I mean? But even on its own, this DLC is really, really good because the actual campaign for that DLC is really solid. The loot system's a whole lot better. The weapons were a lot more interesting. The new wasn't really a planet, but it was like a spaceship essentially. Was really, really interesting ways put together. The Court of Oryx was a whole lot of fun. I mean, you can just get a few other people, go on the Court of Oryx and just hang in there for hours, just grinding to get loot. It's super fun. So, I mean, there's a lot to do in it.
all right, Steve. I'm going to give you what you can't just make your basis. I don't like Destiny. What game do you want to promote?
Well, I feel like, to be perfectly honest, I'm in a difficult situation here because Destiny is apparent premium product list seems to be working for it. So I'm wondering if I should switch to Wolfenstein: The Old Blood just because it's the more costly product, such as the situation that I've been put in here. But
Well, no, it's just Sunset's such a short. I love the Sunset DLC, but it was very short.
yeah, but it was also priced cheaply.
Yeah.
It's true.
Let me tell you about a game that was free.
For
And
a
it
limited
was
time.
10 hours of content. Brand new
Hey,
cars.
Sorry, that was not
fully
8 hours of
voice
content.
acted. Yes, because I played it, and it took me 10 hours. And I'm the best Forza player in here.
Nobody's
You got
debating
brand new
that.
cars. You got brand new game
but-
mechanics. You got a fully voice acted story with brand new missions. The only thing that was the same was the map you already played on.
I got 1,000
Plus-
gamer score in like 3 hours in that game.
Yeah, so did I.
There you go. You got 1,000 gamer score in the game.
In 3 hours. You said 10 hours.
It took me 10 hours to completely beat that game completely.
Did you turn it on and then leave it there, not doing anything for 8 hours?
No, I literally drove around.
And
No,
then
because I
you
actually
pick the
I
controller
enjoyed
back up
myself
and
and
then
I
do it in
actually
2
played
hours.
with all the cars.
Steve, wait a minute.
I didn't just run through the single player. I actually went around and enjoyed those cars. I got 10 hours of enjoyment out of that game. And that's with already owning Forza Horizon 2 and having all that available to me also. And it also came with a full multiplayer mode on top of that people didn't have to buy into Forza Horizon 2 to play. So for free, even though it was for a limited time, everyone should have got it while it was free anyway.
But if they go
You got
now,
a free
it's $10.
multiplayer mode. You got at least half the map. You got 15 cars that aren't even in the Forza Horizon 2. You got a new game mechanic. You got a fully voiced single player to it and campaign that tied into a movie. I don't know. I thought it was a fantastic DLC. Whether it wins or not, I think it at least deserves to be on the list.
And you know what I didn't mention in Destiny was all the new multiplayer maps, the new class, 3 new classes actually, one for each type. You know.
So don't forget all the PlayStation exclusive content that Xbox One didn't get.
Yeah, but they also revamped a lot of the old strikes from the previous game for the new content as well. So there's that too.
Do you have a horse in this race?
I don't buy DLC. I don't believe in it. But I pretty much just buy a game. But if I will buy a DLC, I have bought it for Titanfall, bought it for Tomb Raider. I'll buy it, but most of the time I don't. I'll finish the game and that's it.
Tim, did you buy Sunset Overdrive DLC?
Never bought it, and I love that game.
Oh, you should.
Oh, that's a bad move.
Thanks to Tim, there won't be a fucking Sunset Overdrive 2. He didn't buy the DLC.
It's all Tim's
Thanks,
fault.
Tim.
Chris?
I mean,
Destiny.
No, I didn't play Destiny. I'll go with Forza Horizon 2, Fast and the Furious. It's the only one I really got into. Didn't play a lot of it, didn't finish it just because racing games really aren't my thing. I like
so it's a weak selection then.
Yeah,
no, racing games aren't his thing.
I honestly, I should have spoke up. I would have said Arkham Knight Season Pass. I love Batman. I love every bit of content that game has had. So, but that wasn't on the list. So Forza.
That's
Jason made a good argument.
$40.
Yeah, but it's Batman.
Let's see.
It wasn't really that good.
Yes, it was, Steve. It was wonderful.
Got to race the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great.
But it was $40, which is the same price as the Destiny DLC, which was
well, yeah, it's undoubtedly better than
full
the
campaign.
Hey, this the Arkham Knight stuff's still not done.
Hey, Horizon 2 gave you a full campaign for free.
That is true.
It's not a full campaign. It was like an hour.
It's a
maybe
demo.
It
two.
was not an hour. It was
It's a
Jason,
demo.
10 hours. God damn it.
Yeah, but Sunset Overdrive takes what is actually already a
45
great core game that doesn't actually need to be revamped because they
So
fucked
is
up
Horizon
so badly.
2.
Let me
Horizon
finish,
2
Jason.
doesn't need revamped. You saying Horizon 2 needs revamped?
Well, I played it the other day and was like, wow, this is boring.
Yeah.
Well, that's you.
You know, Sunset Overdrive takes a fantastic base game that looks great. It adds a new area. There's tons of stuff to do, loads of collectibles, loads of flying around. And it's just more awesomeness, and it is incredible
Steve,
awesomeness.
I'm just going to cut you off right now. You're not in the same conversation.
And Destiny is still adding events and content all throughout until what, September? Probably
no, but
next
we're
year?
talking about
that's
specifically
not
the Taken King. We're not talking
Yeah.
about because they're doing free content from now on, except
Horizon
for
2's
Super
been adding DLC also.
Yeah, I'm not taking any of that stuff into account, Vern. Because we're talking about specifically
It's
the
Taken King content, though. It's for people who have the Taken King. It's not for people who play the old Destiny, a lot of it.
I'm voting for Forza.
Thank you.
Between the two, it's hard because I see both points. Like the Taken King is like a great.
It's a
package,
great expansion.
It's also
but
$40.
Forza Horizon 2 was an amazing free
Demo!
It was
wasn't
free. There's 10
It's a
hours of
demo!
content. There's
No,
10
it
hours of content in it.
It is a small
You know,
portion of
Stop
the
your
world.
sarcasm,
it's the
Steve,
same
that you just
map.
argued.
It's the same map, though, as
The
the actual
same
game.
map to people that never
And so is
paid
Destiny.
$60.
Yeah, but this is DLC. It's adding on to something.
Well, no, hold
This
on
is
a second.
Forza Horizon 2 presents Fast and Furious. It's like a demo. It's
Actually,
not
the
real
cars-
DLC.
The cars from Horizon 2, Fast and Furious, were
Hold on.
released for Forza Horizon 2.
That's
Hold
what
on.
it added.
Yeah, but
It
but
added
Vern,
it added cars. That's all you got. Cars
Yeah, but
and a nitro
So for
boost.
free,
Yeah, but
you got
Vern-
to play that campaign that was fully voice acted.
first of
You
all,
got a new game mechanic. You got multiplayer if you didn't own the game itself.
You
So
guys
you
are
can
just
play for
haters.
free.
no, as Jason said, not only was Forza Horizon 2 presents Fast and Furious free, but also when it stopped being free, wasn't it like $10?
It's $10.
The
and
Taken
still is
King, the Taken King is $40.
Well, exactly.
Which-
$10 for
yeah,
that, which should be
Wait,
free
wait a
still.
sec.
But you're
Pause.
talking about all this extra content, right? But let's not factor in
not-
the fact that you are paying significantly
It's not
extra
just the
for
content, it's the quality of the content and how much better it is from the original game too.
Well, I don't see why that's relevant.
Of course it's
Uh,
relevant.
Horizon 2 didn't need to improve its content. It was already good.
Yeah, they just released the demo.
Well, Forza
They didn't release a
Horizon
demo.
2,
It's not a
That's
demo.
what it is. It's pretty
Forza-
much a
It
demo.
doesn't play into.
It was
the
a way to
story.
promote Forza Horizon 2 and
So?
cross promote Fast and the Furious.
Forza
And the
Horizon
Taken
2
King
already
is
had
not
a
a way to
demo.
promote Destiny. The
What?
Taken King is a promotion for Destiny. It was getting people back into the game after
Destiny
they.
isn't a movie.
It doesn't matter. It was still a promotion for the main game.
Yeah,
They were
but you
getting-
don't. It's not trying to get you to buy the old game. They want you to get the whole
Yes, they
package of the
are.
new game.
They want. Yeah, they want.
And for
you
people who already have the game, it's there to be added content. It's DLC
yeah, they want to get people back into the game because people got burned hard by it.
to continue playing the game. That's
Yeah,
what DLC
it was.
is.
It was promotion to get people
All
back.
right.
Fast
Stop.
and the Furious
Stop.
is
Everybody,
not a way
stop.
for people to continue playing
Stop.
Forza
No, wait
Horizon
a
2.
second. Wait a
It was to
second.
get people into Forza Horizon.
First of all, it got more people. It got people back in because it had fucking Fast and Furious in it. So you're wrong there, Vern. But I have to give it to Destiny: The Taken King. Like it fucking deserves it. But it did get people back into it. It's Fast and the Furious. It's love or hate that fucking movie. It has a following. But yeah, Destiny: The Taken King was the
shit.
DLC of the year.
Why did we put ODST in there?
Destiny also added all the quests that
Oh,
you could do after you had already finished the game. It fleshed out characters that you didn't know anything about in the original game. It really made the world feel alive
But-
compared
Yeah.
to the previous game.
You
know
had
anything
at
about
the
it.
same time, if you were burned by Destiny, you would have to drop $40 if you wanted all these extra quests and everything.
No, a lot of them you could still do.
We were
have
just
it in the
arguing
game.
for the DLC. Technically, Horizon 2 Fast and the Furious really doesn't count as DLC.
Well,
Not
okay,
It's
from
a
well,
y'all's
standalone
argument.
DLC.
Well, then-
It is.
well,
No, it's
well,
a
then-
standalone game.
well, then
And
neither
neither's
does
the Old
Wolfenstein The Old Blood. It
Yeah.
should have been called
Neither
DLC.
does Wolfenstein No Blood and all
it should
those.
have been called DLC or premium expansions.
Yeah. No, I agree with
Either
that.
way,
Yeah. Either
Destiny's
way,
still better.
Destiny kind of.
Destiny sucks.
I hate saying it. It gives it like a dirty taste in my mouth, but you can't deny fucking what it did. It
fun man.
I would have never spent $40 more on that game.
all right. Best backwards compatible game of the year.
Can we add one into this?
What would you like to
Dor-
add?
Doritos Crash Course.
It's not winning. It's not winning, Vern.
I'll vote for it.
It's really good.
Well, it's not a vote thing. You're just not going to win. And fucking Steve, you know you're voting Gears if you had a vote. Like,
I
don't even-
I
Would
know
be
what I'm
if.
voting, but it's not Crash Course. But I think it deserves a nomination.
Okay, Doritos Crash Course, number 1. Number 2, Fallout 3. Followed by Gears of War 3.
Yeah.
Super Meat Boy. Lumines Live. South Park The Stick of Truth. Or, the game that really deserves the win. Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise.
No one cares.
Don't see why it should get voted for this and Rare Replay.
What? Viva Pinata was a standalone backwards compatible game before Rare Replay popped out. If you were in a preview.
It is
But-
still.
If you're in the
Even without
preview.
replay.
Shh.
It's a double whammy. You can't pick and choose because I can go, well, Gears of War 3 was given with Gears of War Ultimate, so that
It's
means
true.
it doesn't qualify because I said so.
There's only 2 titles on here that even deserve to win, though, and that's Luminous Live and South Park: The Stick of Truth.
That's not
Whoa,
bad.
strong words. Strong words from
That's-
Vern,
well,
starting right
that's
off the
ridiculous.
gate.
That's ridiculous.
Tim, I need to hear from you, Tim.
I'm just
This-
gonna go Viva Pinata because I know you love
Fucking
Viva
A.
Pinata, and I want to make you happy.
Tim, you're not going to win, but it touches me right here.
I honestly I have played Viva Pinata because of you. I mean, I played it when originally, but I had played it after, and it kind of was disturbing with the bird and the worm and stuff like
Yes,
that.
it is. Phil Spencer had a great interview talking about how disturbing it was to explain to a kid. It's like, yeah, you're gonna name your little worms, and then a bird's gonna come and eat them.
Yeah, that part.
Oh,
See, I don't think that's. I wouldn't vote for that.
it's a fantastic game if you love fucking just menus, because that's what it is. But I'm not here to argue Viva Pinata. I can't. But thanks, Tim. Chris, on this list.
Gears 3. It's my favorite Gears out of all of them. It's
Best
I mean, I really can't argue other than that. I mean, we all know about Gears. We all know what it's about. Which is the best one out of all of them. And it's now on Xbox One. You can play it there.
Steve, do you concur?
Yeah, well, Gears of War 3 is a classic. Okay,
Does
everything.
it really qualify as a
Yes,
I guess.
Yes,
yeah.
of course it does because
Does
it
it
is-
run well in backwards compatibility
Yes,
compared to some
it
of these
does.
other games?
I've
No,
played-
because Luminous Live controls and runs a whole lot
Well,
better than the rest of
okay,
these
if
games
you-
in this
if
list
you-
besides Super Meat Boy.
Fern, if you want to go toe to toe with games that run better, then I'm going to get Super Meat Boy and slap you in the face with it because that is a game that requires absolute precision and that runs flawlessly.
That's only an element, is what I'm getting at. Gears of War 3 is missing a certain element, and that's quality performance. Super
I'm
Meat
sorry, I
Boy,
completely
Luminous
disagree.
Live
How
are the
much
only
have you-
ones
how
on
much
here
have you
that
played
perform
Gears?
incredibly well.
How much
I
have you
played
played
enough
Gears?
to know it didn't play as well as it did on the 360.
I need to give me an idea.
5 minutes.
Fern, Dustin, I'm sorry, but can we,
That's enough for me to know that it did not play as well as it did on 360
when did you play it?
after the patch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you just thought, oh, well, there was a patch. I'm going to lie about this.
I remember the
Dustin,
patches. I downloaded it and played it after.
Dustin, I think that he needs to be disqualified here. This isn't right.
I'll allow it.
Oh,
Not
this
the
is great.
disqualifying. I'll allow it. I believe you, Vern. Because this is the thing. Vern is anal enough to download like this game he didn't like just to go, does it run better? Yeah, it does. All right, I'm done with Neverwinter. Let's delete it again. Let's get. I just needed to know if the town lagged. I just needed to know. Vern would do that. So
I think Fallout 3 should also be highly considered for this because it actually runs better on 360 backwards compatibility than it did on the actual 360. It has VSync, and the frame rate is actually doesn't hit the same lows as the 360 version. So that's a possibility. But I think South Park can't win. I know this upsets Dustin because the full motion video in the game has lip syncing issues right now.
Yeah, it sucks.
So,
Gears doesn't have lip syncing issues.
but Gears has frame rate issues.
But
It's either
I'm sorry, I
it's between
disagree.
Fallout 3 and Luminous Live for me, and the reason I'm picking Luminous Live is because everyone needs to experience this game. It has great music. It's got incredible gameplay. I mean, it seems really simple at first, but once you get to the nitty-gritty of the game, it's pretty complex as a puzzle game, and it's super super fun. And you will absolutely curse that goddamn fucking line.
All right, Jason, are you going Luminous Live? I know that's your fucking jam.
Foes have been created. The opinions have changed over this last week. I'm going Viva Pinata. Trouble in Paradise. Viva Pinata is so good, man.
It's
I'm sorry.
Boring.
To you.
To be fair, I don't think we should take game advice from someone who likes Destiny.
Have you ever had worms have incest?
Okay, I like games where I can jump on things and shoot things.
Well,
I can't
like
do that in Viva
games.
Pinata.
I like games where I can
move
get
a
my
little
worms
cursor
to have incest.
And I feed shit.
Jason, is your whole argument just incest? Because it's not going to win.
No, it's not. Is it my time to argue some Viva Pinata?
Yeah, if you want to argue some Viva Pinata, go for it. Why does Viva Pinata deserve to be backwards compatible of the year?
Because Still looks great, in my opinion. The art style still holds up. For one, it runs well. It's complex. It's fun.
Tell you what,
But
you were just
honestly,
digging a
bottom
grave
line,
for this game.
me and Dusty have played a shit ton of Viva Pinata. I
We're
think
talking about hundreds of hours of
yeah.
Viva Pinata.
I think Viva Pinata is great, not only for kids to get back into this backwards compatibility, have kids something to play with this, but it's also great for adults because it can get very complex in the way you have to attract pinatas and then the way you have to make them and get them going. And it's also funny, it's quirky.
So you're
And
saying it's a good way to introduce your kids to video games where you can both sit down, both have controllers, and both raise pinatas.
yes.
But does it have Genki Rockets music?
Doesn't need Genki Walk. Right. It doesn't need
Every-
that. No.
Every game needs Genki Rockets music.
Does Luminous Live have love scenes that involve puzzles?
Probably.
Because Viva Pinata has love scenes that involve puzzles.
Yeah, does Luminous Live feature incest, Fern?
Yeah, no,
Probably.
it doesn't.
You could probably get incest out of it if that's what you choose to see.
Yeah. You see
In the
that,
way-
how that block
In the way the
enters
pieces
that
fit together and the way they look, you could probably see incest somehow.
Steve, I need to hear more about Gears before I just give it to Viva Pinata.
That's ridiculous. Look.
Viva Pinata! What?
Fern, shh. Right? As I said before, Gears of War 3 is a classic, right? It is one of the most played Xbox 360 games ever. One of the most popular. They brought it to Xbox One, right? There's a ton to do. You've got the campaign, you've got the arcade scoring, you've got the multiplayer, both the competitive and the horde mode, and it all holds up, right? This isn't some shit Xbox Live Arcade game from some bloke who hasn't made a game in about 12 years, right?
A
This
great game designer is the
this
same
is-
guy who made Sega Rally.
I stand
Come
by my
on!
point. Well, I also did say in 12 years.
Space Channel 5!
Was shit. Shit.
Ah, I hate you.
Yeah.
Someone
Hey,
never played
it's
good
Steve
Sega
is-
games.
Steve
of
is
War-
the indie game guru, so this is all shit up his alley.
No, it's Sega games. He doesn't give a shit about Sega games.
How dare you? I owned a Dreamcast. Don't you dare put that on. I'm furious with you right now. I'll tell you what, we're going to have words after this. Now, I was just talking about Gears. Right? Gears is a difficult game to emulate to backwards compatible because if you get it wrong, then you have people like Vern who just make stuff up. Okay, but the fact is that they didn't. That there's been a patch and there's been some improvement, but that game runs. In my experience, it runs great. You can play it. I came top in a multiplayer game when I was playing against a bunch of people on 360 because I'm that damn good, right? But the fact is that Gears is a very tough game to emulate because if you get it wrong, people are not going to want to play it. And the fact that they didn't get it wrong, they got it right. It plays great. It's all there. It's all there. It's all playable. It runs well, just like it did on 360.
No.
And
Well,
it is one of the best games of all time.
You can take. I'm gonna let you take that back. Not just like it did on 360.
It can be good enough, but it's not just right.
You know what
Good-
did play
sorry.
just like it did on 360? Viva Pinata
Honestly, the
Trouble
most
Paradise.
the most impressive out of this list would probably be Viva Pinata and Fallout 3 because of the way they run and the way they look. So
Viva Pinata,
Well,
not
they
joking
fixed,
aside,
didn't they
the art
fix?
style does
Didn't they
hold up.
fix Gears of War 3? Wasn't there a patch?
they patched it and made it better. Yeah,
Yeah.
And it
Well,
runs
like
great.
Halo Reach right now is having an issue.
it's a mess from what I hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I just watched the frame rate test on that, and it actually runs better in parts. So
well, that tends to happen. There's parts that run better and parts that run worse than the old game
Yeah.
on a lot of this backwards
A
compatible.
little give and take here.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I'm gonna call it.
Viva Pinata.
Just not fucking Lumines.
I don't think Lumines is the game in this list. It really does come down between Gears because nobody's arguing for Fallout. It comes down to Gears and Viva
Well-
Pinata.
Well, if it comes down to Gears and Viva Pinata, I'm changing my vote to Gears because it's not fucking Viva Pinata.
And as a much slower paced game, I think it's much much easier to make mistakes with Viva Pinata, but still not be penalised for
But
them.
you know what? I think Viva Pinata offers a lot more hours and playability than Gears of War does.
No, sorry, you just didn't,
Multiplayer?
did not fucking say that to me.
Even with multiplayer. You have no idea
You-
how far this rabbit hole of Viva Pinata goes. Wait till you get to the
Jason.
desert.
Jason, how much Horde mode have you played?
I've played a lot of Horde mode, but I also play Viva
In
Pinata
Horde,
mode.
let me ask you, how much have you leveled up your or the different?
Just to
base
clarify,
business?
me and Jason leveled up everything in Horde mode and probably put more hours than you did into it.
Nah, sorry, that's
Uh,
ridiculous. So did
No,
I.
that's
I loaded
probably
up
not more than
everything.
him.
I
Thank
know. You have no idea how many hours I put
We used
into
to
Gears
play
of War
Horde
3
mode
Horde
every
mode
night.
for years.
How many achievements have you got in Gears of War 3?
This is
don't
not an
know.
achievements fucking... You're not winning your argument with, I got more achievements than you, Dustin.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
not
that
going
I've
to work. It's not... You know what? That's taking a point away from you. For fucking Mr. I got more achievements than you. I beat more games this week than all of you put
Hold on.
together.
Or-
I did not say
Like, you
that.
can't
Or
go
loses 1
down
point.
this road. Steve, it's going to hurt you. You shouldn't go down this road.
Animals.
Because I make fun of you specifically for how many games have you beaten this week, Steve? That's not
Gears
me
of War
asking.
3. Gears of War 3 is the ultimate Cliffy B game.
It is.
Is Viva Pinata the ultimate rare game? For real? No.
Yeah.
No.
It's not
Why
even the
does it
ultimate
have-
rare
it
game
play-
on Xbox 360.
Why does it have
Exactly.
Viva Pinata? They don't. Rare doesn't have to be at their ultimate to beat Gears of War.
The question is, what is the best
I-
backwards compatible game of the year?
I don't think you can vote on that. You can. You're a little.
It's hard for me to.
impartial.
I'm
Let's give
trying
it to
not to be
Tim.
impartial.
Tim doesn't care either way.
Tim, do you not care either way?
I don't care either way.
Okay, Tim.
But I don't want to be the guy that chooses.
I want you to
Oh,
choose
see,
because
that's
I
the
want to
problem.
argue for
I don't
Viva
want Steve
Pinata.
to be. I don't want.
I
Steve
want to
out.
argue for Viva Pinata, and you can be
I
the
would
only
call it a
impartial
tie.
view.
I
No. But this, hear me out. I'm not Tim. You're gonna have final say. You'll have the
We're gonna
vote.
flip a coin. We're gonna flip a coin.
Look, Tim. You're gonna have final vote on this. All right. This is why I think Viva Pinata should win, because I really think Viva Pinata should win. But I'm trying to be impartial, and I just can't.
We have a
Viva
coin.
Pinata, out of all the games on Xbox One, is one of the very rare child-friendly. You can pick it up with your kid, and it's not a gun that you shoot somebody in the head. It's not
That's a good
over-the-top humor. It's something you can sit there. You can still get Viva Pinata cards and use and put it in front of a camera, and it'll give you the pinata. Like it's child-friendly. It's great for adults. It has amazing potential for anybody that wants to play. And it, like I said, it really does get your kids into gaming. Even when they're 3 years old, because they'll be pinatas and it won't be the biggest thing of all time.
And it promotes construction instead of destruction.
and we have a Gears winner too. Already.
We're flipping a coin.
Flip a coin.
Hey, real quick, Vern, I got
Gear-
a coin flip app on my phone.
No, I'm gonna flip a real coin.
Gears has got to be heads because the logo's got a head on it.
I don't. If
well,
I
that
say,
and it's G, and then Viva's
although,
a V,
although
so Tails
I
would be Viva.
I do feel
All right, here we
that
go.
It doesn't.
It's Tails. It's Viva.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolute garbage.
I was gonna say Viva because I felt
Fix is in.
I felt that Dustin had a very good heart to kids.
I just think it's a good way for you and your kids to get into games together, and it doesn't
It's a good
bore the
argument,
parent.
yeah.
And it's not like I'm saying Viva Pinata's the better game than Gears, because Gears 3 is fucking fantastic. I put hundreds of hours into it. It's just, this is a backwards compatible game. I have Gears. I have Halo. I could play all kinds of shooters on my Xbox One. That's not the problem. The problem with the Xbox One is you don't have any fucking things to play with your kids.
This is like Rosencrantz and
That's not fair.
Guildenstern
There's
shit.
like 8 Lego titles on there, and kids love that shit.
I just flipped the
Lego
coin 5
types.
times after, and it's heads all 5 times. It's like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Viva
Vern,
Pinata for the win.
this will not be forgotten.
Viva Pinata beating odds.
Games with Gold of the Year: D4, IDAR, Rayman Legends, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, Pool Nation X3, Tomb Raider, and The Walking Dead: The Complete First Season.
See, I
Tomb
think
Raider.
Full Nation should win because it was games with gold 3 times.
Okay, Full
3
Nation's out.
times.
Full Nation's out.
It's out. It's-
Oh.
And I gotta say, I think Tomb Raider and Walking Dead should be out too. And I know you hate to hear
Why?
this, but they have been in so many free game free game like things like either humble bundles or games with gold or PS Plus. They've been saturated in these things, so I
No,
kind of feel
what
like they don't
difference
deserve
does
to be
that-
in
what
there either.
difference does that
Same
make?
thing with Black Flag. I mean,
What
so
difference
you
do-
want to
what-
bring it down to Rayman, iDarb, and
D4?
D4?
I think D4 should win. Because
No.
D4 is
I
the game
see-
that
I
people
see where
would
you're
not
going.
play. No, D4 is the kind
yeah,
of game that people would
because it
not
was
play,
fucking
and they
garbage.
suddenly get the time to. No, it's not fucking garbage. It's a
It
very
is
good
good.
game,
I liked
and you
it.
should
I
give it.
liked
And you
it.
should
I
give it. You
finished-
should actually give it a chance. It
I
used
did,
the
I played
Kinect
it.
in a way better way than any other game that has come out for Xbox One has used it. It had
What a
it had a really good. It had a really no really. It had a really good soundtrack. The characters were all interesting, even though the dialogue was kind of strange. Once you let yourself kind of get
Crap.
into the weirdness of the world, it was really interesting and a whole lot of fun.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Okay, so Vern and Tim are going backing
D4.
D4.
I'm backing
D4.
D4. Yeah.
All right, Jason, do you have a game in this list you think should win? You don't have to vote. You don't have to care at all.
Go Tomb Raider.
I'm not gonna argue the point, but I'm gonna say Tomb Raider because it got me to play and beat the game,
Mhm.
even though I had bought it on PC before.
Steve,
Tomb Raider.
and you are going to argue the point, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Chris.
Rayman Legends.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Good choice.
I love it.
All right, let's go straight into Rayman Legends because y'all are really going to yell at each other. So I want to get, let's just bring it down a notch,
There's
We were
so
just-
much to unlock in Rayman Legends. Rayman Legends is realistically there's not much as far as side-scrolling original platformers on Xbox One. It is a fantastic game. Art style is great. It's pretty. It's 1080p if you guys are counting Ps, because I know some people still like to do that shit. And like I said, there's a ton of unlockables. It really scratches that old school of platforming itch that Xbox One really lacks, in my opinion. I love Rayman. I love it. It's fun, funny
Oh.
characters, great levels.
But Chris, you talk about controls. This game did not have the best controls, and this is a platformer. The controls have to be absolutely tight and perfect in a platformer, in my opinion, and this game does not have it.
I honestly thought I never had a problem with the controls. I thought they were fun.
I finished Rayman Legends, and I thought the controls were pretty good.
I liked them. I did not have a single problem with it.
Have you guys played Mario games? Have you played Ori?
No, wait, I was going to ask, is this
I
because
played Ori.
you like Ori and Mario, like their control scheme?
The
Specifically,
control.
Vern?
It's not the control scheme. It's the actual response to the controls.
Yeah.
Rayman has this kind of strange floaty delay, and that immediately turns me off. I played through quite a bit of it too. It wasn't like I just gave up on it right away. I played through probably, I don't know, 20 of the levels or something like that. I played quite a bit of it. But it just I have to throw it out because I think the controls are just not up to par for a 2D platformer. When you're a 2D platformer, your controls better be absolutely fucking perfect. And there weren't.
Well,
Okay.
I played Ori and Rayman, and I didn't have a problem with any of them, either of them.
Steve, tell me about this. No, did I ask Tim? I feel bad now. Did Tim?
No, I like D4.
Okay, that's right. That's right. D4.
I felt it was the best use of Kinect that to date for a game. I played the whole game on Kinect, so to me, I felt Swery did a real good job of showcasing the Kinect, and I love the game. I had a lot of fun playing it. I love the humor and everything about it. So, I mean, I would pick Tomb Raider, but I see you guys' point where it's been bastardized. So.
I don't see how this is in any way relevant.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Vern's point of it being bastardized and thrown out a million times doesn't really qualify. This is about games with gold, not PSN Plus games, not Humble Bundle. This is just, hey, I only owned an Xbox. I got games with gold.
I'm still gonna go with D4.
That's fine. I just want you to know,
use of the
like
Kinect.
that. I'm not taking that into account.
It's
for-
the best use of Kinect I think I've ever had.
On 360 and Xbox One.
Yeah, for me.
They made Kinect controls work in a a point-and-click adventure game, essentially. And it would be really cool if other developers did something like this, because there's been nothing like it, and there probably won't be again now.
Yeah,
And it's really something worth
I think
experiencing.
D4 is gone. It's over too. I don't think we're getting another one. So.
No,
I think we are, but Microsoft's
we
not getting
are.
involved.
Yeah.
Are we?
Well,
Are they going to fix it? Are they going to do it? Because I know that they were saying
No,
that.
Access is going to do it.
Is it going to be
But-
multi-plat?
I don't know. It depends on if the first game can be multiplayer too. It'll definitely be on PC. I don't know if it'll make PS4. I guess we'll see. I guess it depends on what kind of contracts were signed and how things were worked out.
Right.
But I don't think Microsoft's not publishing it.
Right.
They
They
might,
didn't
like-
publish the first one, or did they?
They did.
Okay.
All right. Steve, tell me about Tomb Raider and why
Well-
it should be Games with Gold.
People look at Games with Gold, and the one thing people always talk about is, I want AAA games. Okay.
Mhm.
Tomb Raider was okay. It was a remaster, but it was a big release. It was a great game. It was used to drum up interest in Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I've got up on my Xbox right now. Right, it's a great game. Many people should experience it. The remaster was really good, as One Saint said. It's 1080p, but the cutscenes are not. And it's a great remaster. It's a great game to play, and I think it's a really great game to bring to the masses. They did it. What was it, about 18 months after launch? I think D4 should get docked points because they did it 3 months after release because it sold so badly, which is a dick move for all the people that just went and paid for it.
I didn't feel upset about it. I was happy other people
And
could play
they put it
because I
on
liked it so
sale.
much.
before
Well,
they
I
put it
felt like
on
they
Games
wanted
with
to give
Gold.
it exposure because it bombed. It was a stealth release, and I don't know. Xbox gamers don't buy those type of games. That's just the bottom line.
Well, they didn't even give it a chance, though.
Yeah. Well, they
All
don't.
right,
Xbox gamers usually don't. So.
Jason, do you have anything to add to Steve's points?
Tomb Raider's a good game. All right.
Well, it's a really
Okay.
good game. I mean,
Look, I'll say Tomb
played
Raider
it.
is one of the games I've played where I think it looks so good in certain scenes that I almost didn't believe it was actually a game. Like, it almost looked CG in certain scenes, and I thought that was awesome. But, I mean, I thought it was a great game. I don't really want to argue the point about Tomb Raider. I just think it was a good game. You take that as you will.
Vern, you want to stop messaging on Skype, people? I can't read it. Y'all know that.
It wasn't
Stop.
to you.
Now.
Keeping things from him.
Months.
Now. I see it. And people, I'm just throwing it out there. They can hear the audio because I don't have it muted. So please stop doing that. All right. So y'all are Tomb Raider's a good game. D4 came out on Games with Gold 3 weeks after it
3
was
months.
being sold. 3
In,
months.
in between that, they'd also had a sale to spare sales, and it still didn't
Hey.
work. So then they stuck it on Games with Gold.
Still
But
not
I'm
as
not
bad
gonna-
as Need for Speed going 40% off at after what is it, a month or a couple weeks.
It's not about sales numbers. I can't put that against D4. It didn't sell, so it's not a good game. It's a.
But
It's
you
a
can get
flimsy
Tomb Raider
argument.
everywhere else. You can only get D4
Look.
on Xbox One and
And you can get it
I
on
don't know.
PC.
All
what I
right.
mean.
So after thinking about this and deliberating,
Do you need some Beastie Boys beats?
I think I'm gonna go with D4. D4 has, like they said, it's the one Connect game you can fucking get on
yeah.
Xbox One that's good. Don't get me wrong.
I think
you
Connect
know.
Sports is a good game, but I guess
Yeah.
everyone else just hates it.
No, Rivals is a fine game. Vern enjoys Rivals as much as I
I do. You
It's
do have
not
to
bad.
learn how to play it, though. It's not completely intuitive all the time. Once you figure it out, it's fine. But the rock climbing, the first time I was like, oh, this doesn't work. What am I doing? And then once I just did a certain type of motion, it was okay. But I don't feel like it should be that way. It should be intuitive.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, this is the moment we've been waiting for. It's the game of the year 2015. Let's go down this list. The Witcher 3, Ori and the Blind Forest, Forza Motorsport 6, Halo 5 Guardians, what is it? Batman Arkham Knight, right? Is that the right one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Fallout 4. I said I only wrote down Batman. I couldn't remember what it's called, but yeah. So who's taking up what mantle? Who's going Witcher? Let's just throw out points. Just say if you're going for Witcher, so that we can move on and figure out what other people talked about.
I got The Witcher.
The Witcher.
Okay, 2. Tim, are you going Witcher?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bail out. I'm gonna
Your vote would be for The Witcher, though.
No, my vote. I'm actually gonna bow out because I haven't played Fallout 4. Like I said, it
Out of the ones you played, what's the one?
out of the ones that I've played, and I haven't finished it. I'm gonna go Witcher 3. I just felt I felt Rise of the Tomb Raider was fantastic, but I think Witcher 3 was the most impressive, the biggest game, and the scale of it was tremendous. So, gonna go
Jason?
Witcher.
Well, I know I'm not going to win, but I'm going Forza Motorsport 6.
All right. And Vern.
Yeah, this
This
is going to
is-
shock you guys. This is going to shock you guys because I changed my mind like the last few days.
Forza 6? No. Okay.
No,
Metal
no.
Gear.
Don't
No.
say it.
no, Halo 5.
Okay.
Halo
I'm
5.
going-
Oh my
I'm
God,
go- I'm
that's
going with
shocking me.
Halo 5. It's my favorite game this year by far.
Wow.
I honestly thought you were going to say Metal Gear 5.
No.
I thought for sure you were going to say
That-
it.
Get out!
Just to give some backstory, Vern has gone from Rise of the Tomb Raider to Ori and the Blind Forest.
Halo.
Actually, it was
All the
Ori and the
way
Blind
around.
Forest to Rise of the. It was Ori and the Blind Forest first, then Halo 5, then Rise of the Tomb Raider, then back to Ori and the Blind Forest, and now back to Halo 5.
It's been a wild ride for you, Vern.
It has been a really wild ride.
I just got to ask, how are you doing today, Vern?
I'm really good. I saw Storage yesterday. Everyone died.
Yeah, everybody dies in Star Wars.
It was
It's true.
really good. Everyone dies.
All right. Wow, where to start? Vern, tell me about this Halo 5 of yours, this adventure.
Okay. First off, campaign is the best campaign since Halo CE for sure. When I think about all the other campaigns I've played, Halo 2 sucked. Halo 3 was a fun campaign with a completely confusing story that I didn't give a shit about. Halo 4, I thought the story was pretty interesting, but I didn't like the level designs. I thought they were a little too linear. ODST was a really interesting what's the word, like experiment, but I don't think it worked completely. And Reach, I just don't care about at all. But this game had a great campaign. The only thing I can criticize about the campaign is the character development. I didn't really care much, especially about Locke. That was the one disappointment. But I love the direction that 343 Industries is taking this game, and I think they really set it up nicely for Halo 6 as far as the world of Halo and the lore is concerned. And then besides the story, the level design was impeccable in this game. I mean, they did a great job taking advantage of all the new abilities they added to the Spartans and using those abilities to jump around the world and all the different ways you can complete each mission. Never felt like you had to go this way or you had to go this way. You can be really creative in the way you decided to play that game, and it really put it into the player's hands to learn to love and just appreciate this game. Outside of the single player, it had a 4-player co-op mode, which unfortunately I haven't had the time to play with much, and I'd really like to, especially in Legendary. So I think that could be really exciting. And then besides that, obviously you have an incredibly robust multiplayer mode now. And I mean, one of the reasons I have been going back and forth on this game is because at launch, the multiplayer mode, while it was pretty robust, it wasn't even close to what we have now. You know, we have big team battle now. We have an extra map in the Warzone mode. We got more rec packs. We got more types of modes to play. We have more we have more stuff in Arena, and now we have a really full-featured Forge mode. So if you look at it as a whole package, it's incredible. But just besides the package, you also got to include the gameplay, and it's the tightest Halo gameplay of any Halo I've ever played. Especially since I've been using the Elite controller. Maybe that's part of why I'm loving it so much. But I just feel like when I die, I always feel like it's my fault. Usually when someone throws a grenade, you blame the grenade, and often I'll do that in the heat of the moment. Then when I think about it, I'm always boosting into the grenade or not boosting out in enough time, or I used my boost too soon, and it's on cooldown. Just like the way the boost works in that game is very similar to the way a reload works in the game. It's all about managing the time till it's next available. And then when you mix along the way the slide gives you an additional boost, and then you can jump and then boost again to get faster speed. There's just so much complexity to the controls, to the gameplay. It's incredibly balanced. The Warzone mode doesn't even have to be balanced. It's just a whole lot of fun. I can go on and on about it. I love it. And
All right.
I've had so much fun playing with you guys.
Yeah. All right, Jason. Tell me about Forza Motorsport 6.
All right. I just want to start off by saying, Forza Motorsport. If you haven't played it, you should go play it. But the great thing about Forza Motorsport 6, and the problem I'm going to have with this game, it's because like sports games, it is not an annual franchise, but it is every 2 years. So a lot of what I'm going to say is the physics engines have gotten better, but it's not new, it's not innovative, it's not like you're not gonna play Forza 5 and then this and go, this is a completely different game. But some might. It actually is different enough to be like that. But I will say that the game did bring some innovative stuff to racing altogether. Like stuff no other racing game's ever even done before, like 3D puddles and hydroplaning, which makes the gameplay absolutely brilliant, and it's extremely fun, especially with a wheel. Um,
Night
but
Racer.
And on top of that, you also now have, I have to say, probably the best car lineup ever in a Forza game, probably ever in a racing game. Like the car lineup is, even though it's not as many as Forza 4 this time, it's extremely good and it's extremely well varied.
And it's gonna get
Um,
better with Porsche too. Porsche.
yeah, the Porsche expansion is going to actually be bigger than the Forza 4 one. Um, It also now has the tracks. It has night and day, or not night day transitions, but it has night racing now. Although it's only on certain tracks, but it looks very good. Night is night in the game. When you're driving Le Mans at night, it is literally pitch black except for your headlights and the tail lights of the person in front of you. Um, the Drivatar has continued to evolve. I think the Drivatar is actually still brilliant. I think it works great, although I do, there are complaints. But I think most of the complaints are just minor stuff, like the guy in front of me gets too far away. But, I mean, I know people that are so good at the game that the AI can't even keep up with them, although they're stupid. um, but it's almost hard to argue this point with this game because it's always the best racing game of the year for the past how many years it's come out. I'm not saying it's going to win this at all, but I definitely do think it deserves a mention, especially this year, what they've done with the game. Um, it looks brilliant. The graphics are great. I love how the Forza Vista is now built into the menu system. So when you're actually just going around the menu system, you can go straight into Forza Vista and mess with the car, look at every square inch of it. Although that's not new. Although the way they're doing it now is new.
Yeah, car
Um,
collection's a lot better too now.
yes, it is.
The way you get through it, yeah.
it's it's just a better game than Forza 5. It's a better game than Forza 4, but I don't think it does enough to make it different enough to win Game of the Year. But I think
Yeah,
it's
I agree. Like my main issue with Forza Motorsport 6 is now that I've played it for what, like 20 hours or something like that, um, I don't really have the same urge to go and play it more like I did at that point in Forza 5 because I played Forza 5 so much, if that makes
yeah.
sense.
The main problem with Forza 6, and I know you're not supposed to complain, but I think the main problem they really need to fix with this game that would probably put it up there is they need to fix the career mode and how sponsors are done and to give
Hmm.
more meaning to playing the game other than just let me race cars that are beautiful on a beautiful track. Although that should be a good enough reason, it's just not when you've played it so many times. Um, but that's all the argument I got for me on that one.
Can I mention one more thing for Halo 5 while we
Yeah.
talk?
before we get into The Witcher stuff?
Free DLC for everyone. There is no split in the player base in this game. And this isn't shit DLC like with Destiny the Taken King where they just put up events. This is new maps. This is new modes. This is giant new maps.
Did you just fight for all this DLC
I
in
did.
Destiny?
I'm talking about the DLC after the Taken King though. They're not releasing any more DLC content packs for the Taken King. It's going to be all events. They're all going to be free, but it's just events. It's not actual new maps or new quests or new stories, things like that. Whereas with Halo, we're getting entire new modes. We've already got Forge, like I said. We already got Big Team Battle, but we're also going to be getting new arena maps. We're going to be getting new Big Team Battle maps. We're going to be getting new Warzone maps for sure. We're going to be getting all the new rec packs that include new armor, new weapon types. This game is going to be It's been incredibly supported so far, and it's going to keep getting supported. And everyone who buys it is going to have access to that content and experience that level of support for the original $60 price. And now it's going to be cheaper soon. I mean, you can find it for $40 sometimes now, and it's probably going to be on sale soon. So, at least the digital version. So, just wanted to point that out as well. I felt like I missed that out.
All right, guys. The Witcher is a deep path to go down. Please try not to say what the other guy said because I
I have a different take.
You can go. We could talk for hours about The Witcher because of the type of game it is. So just kind of be precise. I don't mind if you spoil a little bit of it. Don't go end game. There's other rules I should set down. Yeah.
I want to preface this. Okay, so when I was a kid, I grew up in a shitty, quiet little town called Carlton, Michigan. It's very quiet. It's a small town, but where I lived, there was a lot of woods, and I grew up with my family around me. I didn't have friends that lived around me. They all lived further away because it was such a small town. So I would, being a young kid, I had imagination. I would go adventuring in the woods. I'd pretend I was a knight or a monster slayer and just adventure. And what The Witcher made me feel like, it made me feel like that as a little kid. Going through the woods in The Witcher and just walking around and adventuring and just stumbling across random shit, random monsters, quests. The Witcher is the perfect game. Even bugs aside, I cannot say enough good things about The Witcher. I don't want to spoil anything. The only thing I will say of negative about The Witcher is the whole story arc with Dandelion and Dudu. I fucking hated hearing about Dandelion. I could not give two shits about that guy. And now even reading the books, the Witcher books, I still don't like hearing about Dudu. I still don't like hearing about Dandelion, or as they call him in the books, Dandelion. I just don't like it. But that aside, The Witcher really makes you feel like Geralt. Yes, you're not your own custom character. You're a character that's based around a different set of lore, and all that stuff is there. But I just like the way it makes me feel. I feel like a kid when I play. I don't want to turn it off. I want to keep playing, and I've given it a break just because of Halo 5. Vern made a lot of great points for Halo 5. Halo 5 is a phenomenal game. The DLC is great, but Witcher 3 is just so compelling. I haven't even gotten into the DLC yet. I'm still playing the main story arc. I keep, like I said, wandering around and just doing random shit, and that's the thing that I like about The Witcher is I don't know when I'll finish it. I know where I'm at in the game, but it's just so fun to just walk around and just do shit.
Ass thing. I understand that you love the experience, but do you like the actual gameplay? The
Yes.
moment-to-moment gameplay. Do you think it's intuitive? Do you think it's really fun? Do you think it controls well?
I don't have a problem with the controls. I don't have a problem with the difficulty. A lot of people think that the
Not the
combat
difficulty, I
is
didn't mean that.
boring.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think the combat is boring, and a lot
These
of
people are
just want
hype.
a lot of people just want a hack and slasher that's similar to the Bayonetta or DMC, where it's very easy to get combos and not have to. I mean, you have to think in DMC, but I mean, you really have to think in The Witcher. What signs you have to use, what bombs you're gonna have to use, what
Based on the enemy
potions
types?
yeah, the crafting is just there's endless amounts of crafting in Witcher 3. I could go on, but I don't want to. Steve can go.
See, I feel like in general, like Game of the Year 2015 is, you look at these games and you think, you know what, some of these games are great games for this year. And then you look at The Witcher 3, right? It's like you say, for example, Halo 5. Is Halo 5 the best Halo game? I don't know.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
for me.
What I would say about The Witcher 3 is that The Witcher 3 far eclipses the concept of Game of the Year 2015. The Witcher 3 is one of the best games of all time, right? They have taken the role playing game. It's something funny, Vernon.
It's so far down the list for best game of all time for me.
No, I said one of.
I know, it's so
Nah.
far down for me. It's just preference. I understand.
Dustin, can you tell him to stop interrupting me, please?
I'm sorry.
Vern, if you don't mind,
Stop! Stop, Vern. Vern.
hit the
Stop.
mute button. It's okay.
We'll all hit it now.
All right, Steve.
You're still visually laughing. It's not helping.
And see, I'm getting laughed at here, right?
Get him, Steve.
But it just literally, you look at RPGs, okay, they are getting bigger and bigger. Back in the day, they used to be, sort of janky. They never used to look particularly good. And The Witcher 3 has literally just blown them all apart, right? It looks fantastic. It plays fantastic. It's got a deep story. That story could have ended about 4 different times before it does, right? But it just keeps on going. And it's high quality. Halo 5, for example, has an incredibly weak story for start in pretty much all areas.
It's not a weak story. It just has weak character development. Continue.
No.
Whereas The Witcher 3 has a fantastic story that's well fleshed out. To be honest, I wouldn't recommend that you turn up necessarily at Witcher 3 and start complaining about it because you didn't get all the other characters. But The Witcher 3 is a fantastic, just all the systems to it. There's so much depth. We already talked about all the crafting and all, and the bombs and the combat. And the combat is really good. I don't care what people say. And the controls are great.
Bad.
If you got any issues with the difficulty, well, there's like 4 of them, so go and pick a fucking different one.
As Vern says, get good.
Yeah, but
It's not about getting good.
what's the best thing?
I'm gonna tell the developers to get responsive.
Be quiet. The thing about The Witcher, okay, is that the quests, and this is the most important thing in a video game. The gameplay is the most important thing because if you've got a great story but a shit game like The Order, then you've got problems. Except for the fact that The Witcher has a great everything, right? The missions, okay, in that, I could play this game for 150, 200, 300 hours. All of the missions are great. There's plenty of variety. You've got, go and do the contract missions and you find, the big different sort of animals that you come across, and they are challenging. They are interesting. You have to have different tactics. There's a lot to it, and there are so many of them. There is so much to do in this game, and it is all incredible quality content. And that is so hard to do in a game that long. It's so hard to do. You look at something like Dragon Age, which is just like 100 hours of fetch quests, right? The Witcher is nothing to do with that. There is so much to do, and it is all.
But Dragon Age has interesting characters.
Well, if you turned up at Dragon Age Inquisition without playing the other 2, you probably wouldn't agree.
Not really. There's a few characters from the other games.
They are nowhere near as interesting as the Witcher characters. It doesn't have you can't customize Geralt and decide who he is. But what's wrong with that? The game is trying to tell a very specific story.
You know what's wrong with that is that Geralt's a boring character to begin with.
Well, yeah, but you're wrong.
You are wrong, and because Geralt, and I've said it before, Geralt is a lot like Spock in the sense that he doesn't have a lot of emotion. He's very serious. Even with the love scenes with Yennefer, that's his woman, and even still, he's an asshole.
I'm Geralt.
Well,
I'm just gonna talk like this all the time.
To be fair, that's just something.
Batman.
To be fair, that's just something you have to live with if you do a type of character like that. It's not wrong to say he's boring. It's just something you have to live with if you build a character that way. It doesn't make him dated. is technically a boring character, but he had good character development over time. Doesn't stop him from being fucking a boring character in the beginning. Same with Spock. Spock was a boring character. Spock still is a boring
I
character
think
from
part
time to
of it's
time.
the voice acting, though. The voice actor
Yeah.
for Geralt. Maybe that's the issue I have. But
But there's been there's been a clear arc here, and obviously the other games don't count for this game of the year. But I think it's interesting to see how sort of how you know Geralt is, and how and there is he does evolve, and you can see that there are things that clearly do matter to him in this game, and it's so well told. Like, he doesn't just suddenly become some sort of blubbering wimp and he'll start talking about all his feelings and stuff. It's not to do with that. Is sort of more sort of subtle things in the story. There's genuine emotion coming from how these characters are portrayed, and it took the Vern loves to talk about music. The soundtrack is incredible. They go put that in for
no,
you.
the instrumentation's bad. I don't
You
like
had
it.
your time with Halo. Let me speak.
Well, I
Right,
didn't even get to talk about the soundtrack for Halo, so I'm talking about that later. Continue.
right. It's just
Steve, I'm just gonna say you are on a limit. It's no because I want
That's
him
fine.
to do a rebuttal, and then you can do a rebuttal.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll finish this section up. Okay, but the other thing I like about The Witcher is how they've got sort of three different areas. You've got the first area, which is sort of similar to sort of half of the second area, but you've got like the sort of foresty sort of woods area, and then you move from the completely different architecture to the sort of bustling city, and it's all there and it's interesting and there's so much to do. And then you move over to Skellige, which, I mean, okay, you could say it's just sort of darker woods, but it's all like the sea, and you can do all that stuff, and you've got a little bit of weather and stuff. It's fantastic.
All right, Vern, the floor is back to you.
Well, there's not much more
Jason?
I can say about the actual gameplay, but since we were talking about music, and we didn't even do a best music category this year, and I kind of feel like we should, but it's already good and past. I
What
think
is
we
your
don't have a whole lot of
favorite
time.
music game this year?
It's a tough one. It's probably a tie between Halo 5 and
Ori, right?
or in the Blind Forest, and
Well,
actually The Order, but that doesn't count since it's not an
no.
Xbox game. But since we're talking about music, Halo 5 has an incredible soundtrack and incredible sound design too. All the weapons sound very different than each other. The way the surround sound is used in that game is incredible. Like, you can definitely hear where everyone's coming from at every time. It's good 7.1 sound. The bass mix is just right. It never feels like it's overdone. I'm not having to turn my sound just so you guys can hear me over party chat very often. That's a great thing right there. But to get to the music, I mean, I've talked about this on the podcast, but it's very, very high quality. And I don't mean high quality as like, catchy tunes or anything like that. It's very well produced. We're talking over 100-piece orchestra here. We're talking music that you might have heard in the beginning of the 20th century in Germany, like maximalism style music, where you're getting ridiculous amounts of instruments on stage at once. And you don't get to hear this very often. Certainly you wouldn't hear it live. I mean, if they ever do a live Halo 5 concert, holy shit, that'd be incredible. But the kind of stuff that's happening in this score is incredible. It's incredibly orchestrated, and you can tell the composer is very trained. You can tell he had an education at Berkeley, because he's weaving in and out of all these themes you've heard over the course of Halo while bringing in new themes. And the way the new themes were written were to alternate against previous characters. Like, if you look at the theory behind the Locke theme, it actually is a sort of inverse of what you have with the Master Chief theme. So that's some really cool shit going on. Really cool shit. But yeah, there's my music talk.
That's one of those few games where I play, and I usually turn off the music in games because some games have awful music. But it's so loud on the main menu, but I just can't bring myself to do anything to it because I love it.
Well, and the mixture of live orchestra and electronica is
Yeah.
fucking flawless in that game.
Very good
And it's
music.
and it always matches with what's on screen. When you're getting to things that are robotic in nature, you're going to get that electronica music. When you're getting the stuff that's organic in nature, you're going to get more of the orchestra, especially when it's humans. And then when you get the stuff that has to do with with like the Sangheili, you're going to get all those tribal beats and drums, and all that stuff just weaves in so nicely from one scene to the next, and still feeling like it's in that Halo soundscape that Marty O'Donnell created, but adding to it rather than trying to do its own take.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, you want to make a rebuttal, or are you happy?
Well, I mean, something that Van talked about earlier to do with Halo was all the DLC, and I think that's something that's relevant for The Witcher 3. They did a ton of post-release content that was free. They released new missions, new. I mean, for people that didn't like the combat, they introduced like a new stance to improve. There's also been a significant effort to say to the people, okay, well, if you didn't like it, we'll give you something that perhaps you do like, and the people that didn't like it did like that. I said the new what they called the contracts and the side missions, the new costumes for the people, and they added new game plus, which I think is very important for an RPG, and it was timely. But it's just there isn't one aspect of The Witcher 3 that I look at and think, oh yeah, you know what, it kind of falls down there. Like they just, I just think that it is the ultimate RPG. Like if you want to make RPGs now, you've got to look at it because it's got everything.
The technical issues count in this because they were pretty in The Witcher at launch.
So,
a lot of it's been patched.
No, but I hate to fight on either side of this, but because this is the game of the year, I am going to put my input in it. Witcher 3 got patched and it made the city worse. The frame rate is worse now than when the game launched.
Whereas Halo 5 has been locked 60 from the beginning and still is.
Halo and it's borderline also 720p at times.
Who cares,
very,
man?
Very rarely.
What, you talked about you were the one that brought in technical stuff.
No,
The
that's
Witcher
fine.
3 is 900p all the time.
Yeah.
Going up to 1080.
The Witcher 3 is also a single-player experience. Halo 5 is a multiplayer experience. And a single-player experience. Halo 5 has dedicated servers for everything. Even your campaign.
Co-op. Even your private matches.
Even Forge.
Can't play multiplayer for Zers down.
That's true. I can give you that. But how often...
Well, I can't even play single player if Xbox is...
Halo 5 cuts split screen co-op, which is a feature that was very important to...
Witcher 3 has no split screen co-op.
Yeah, but it never had split screen co-op. It's a single player game.
So you're cutting it because the expectation wasn't there.
Forza Motorsport 6 has split screen co-op. I think it should win.
Yeah, but Forza Motorsport 6
and 1080p 60 frames per second.
It's 1080p 60 frames per second with split screen. So
well,
I think it won.
Then Forza Motorsport 6 can win every time.
No, if we're going for the best technical game to win, Forza beats everyone. I'm sorry, but this isn't about the most technical game. Yeah,
I was just saying, does that knock it? The technical issues.
I think it does. Okay,
when Halo 5 came out running flawlessly.
Look, I'll put it this way, and I want to state this: my brother, not Jason, my brother Christopher, loves shooters, loves RPGs. When I sold him an Xbox, the first game I bought him, it wasn't The Witcher. It was Halo 5, because it's a flawless experience. And you might not want to go, it's technicalities, but Halo 5 was flawless. It launched great. You could play it. You had dedicated servers. You got everything. Yes, it didn't have Forge at launch. It didn't have Big Team Battle. It did, you can definitely hit Halo 5 hard on certain things. However, they decided to make their randomized counter for how you choose a fucking map is just still awful. Because you end up playing the same map over and over and over and over, and then eventually getting there.
They're bending over backwards for fans. I mean, look what they're doing with the controller support right now. They're completely letting you customize the way this game controls now, and they don't have to do this, but they're doing this because they know Halo fans care about this, and they want to please them, and they want to make sure people understand that this is a great game that is going to be continued to be supported and will continue to be a franchise that Microsoft supports and shows care to its fans. So
they're putting their money where their mouth is too, with $1 million up front, and then money being added onto it from the
I didn't even mention the esports thing that's happening with that. I mean, you brought that up with Gears of War, Steve. So It's another
it's
great
a hard
thing.
one. It's honestly a hard argument.
It's a very hard thing to
it's
compare
not
an
clear one way or
RPG
the
to a shooter. Shooters are you enjoy the multiplayer plays a big part in it. This all multiplayer in Halo is amazing, but the RPG of Witcher is, even though Vern doesn't like it, is amazing. Like, it is one of the best RPGs probably I've ever
Well, the thing
played.
is, I even like low fantasy, and I still have a hard time getting into it. You know.
I understand, but you're the few in this. Like, most people really love The Witcher. You definitely don't make up like the majority. This isn't like the an underdog title. The Witcher
The game
3 's
doesn't
cleaning
feel
up.
good to control in your hands. That's the thing that's why I can't.
I thought it controlled fine.
I think if you like
It controls
multiplayer
perfectly
games,
fine.
Halo is your
doesn't.
game of the
I
year.
think
If you
it's a
want an
valid-
RPG, Witcher's your game of the year. It could easily go either way.
I
But
think
when
it's
it-
a valid argument that it doesn't. It like the controls are not tight on Witcher by any means. They're not. They're not. But you got to live with that. Man, it's the truth. I mean, you just gotta. Just like Locke is a bad character, controls in Witcher aren't that fucking great. But it doesn't take it away from being one
A
of the
great
best
game,
games.
yeah, if you're
at
into
all.
that.
Just like Forza has an awful career mode, that doesn't mean it's not a good racing game.
After hearing the arguments, I can't believe I'm gonna do it. Halo 5 is game of the year. Like,
Jesus.
look, ask Fern. I was going Witcher all day.
Sorry, how on earth is Halo 5 just won Game of the Year?
It's a better argument, and like this.
I love Master Chief.
A better
Master Chief,
argument.
not afraid of everything.
A better
feels
argument.
Look,
Then-
but you can't say, well, look, you saying, well, it has all this story stuff. Vern could easily go, well, where's Witcher's multiplayer? Where does Witcher have, like, big team battle? Where does Witcher have any of this other stuff? It's a dumb way to go down. Like I said, if you enjoy multiplayer games, Halo 5's game of the year. If you enjoy RPGs, Witcher probably be your game of the year. But if you have to compare the two, which one had the flawless launch? Halo did. Witcher was fucking awful. Had frame pacing issues. It still has frame rate issues in the major cities. It has problems all over the place. If you go in the swamps, then you're going to have to hope that the controls hold up long enough for you to fight the fucking swamp monster so you don't get killed. Like, there's major issues with The Witcher. I love The Witcher. It's one of my favorite games this year.
And by the way, I can attest for Dusty. Dusty loves Witcher.
I love Witcher.
That's his game of the year.
But if we're looking at the two, I think you got to give it to Halo.
Vern, we're going out for drinks. No.
I know it's going to surprise everybody because I really didn't think Halo was even going to get talked about. Like, I didn't think that was.
I didn't think so either. Like a few days ago, honestly, but it happened. I had an aha moment. This
I
is
still
my game.
love you, Witcher. I still love
It's
you.
fun. I love Halo, but I still think The Witcher should win Game of the Year. But
That's the way it
It
is.
did
Like
not.
you said, it's a single player. It's game of the year.
It's
But we
hard to
don't wanna
compare an
cop it out.
RPG to a shooter. I don't want to say, well, because
RPGs
there's-
traditionally win. They really do. RPGs
It's-
always traditionally win. Because they're bigger, they're big games with a lot of elements and a lot of story and all this.
They
kind of-
leave a real impression on the people who play them.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and I understand that. The same thing happens to me anytime I complete an RPG. Usually,
Then
when
I
I complete
think
an
it's-
RPG that I like, I'm like, wow, that was the best thing I ever played. That happens a lot, for me at least. And I'm not saying that to devalue the game, but the RPGs do leave impressions because they have greater stories generally than other games.
But what
Steve's never
343
gonna be-
produced, what they showed off, what they released, was without a doubt the best Halo. And I'm going to argue with Vern. I think it's better than CE. It was an amazing story.
Well, CE just
was
has that
amazing.
nostalgic place
No,
in
it's
my heart.
nostalgic,
That's what it comes.
of
Yeah,
course. But like this is the Halo game. it is the Halo game.
Even if it's
the one
not
you've
selling
always
the
wanted.
best out of all Halo games, even if it's not the most popular, it is the best Halo game.
It's
And
the
it
most
shows
supported.
that 343 Industries deserves to be making this game and should continue making it.
And I think the fact that it's free DLC forever, I think that also gets tossed in. Like that's
Yeah, but The Witcher's adding.
The Witcher's
they added
adding
their free
$25, $30 DLC packages. Yes, they are. And everything I've heard so far is they're freaking amazing. And I completely agree with that. But it would be like me. Let's say if this was Gears of War on this side and Witcher on the other. You know which way you'd go, Steve. You know you would choose Gears.
If Gears was like
Gears
Halo
4
5
was a
for
10 out of 10.
Okay, if Witcher 4 came out in 2016 and Gears of War 4 was up for Game of the Year, you'd be going Gears of War 4. Let's be
hold on
real.
a second. I don't think that's
Steve,
necessarily fair.
It's a bias that you have to admit you got. I'm just saying.
It's fine. Just like I'm biased to Forza. I had to bring it up in every category.
You know what's funny for me? I always thought of myself as a Gears guy and not a Halo guy, but this game changed me. It made me a Halo guy. Though I'll probably be loving. I'll be a Gears guy next year.
And I want to give.
Since
I want to give Halo one more thing, and this might actually win you over. Hunt the fucking Truth was fucking amazing. I don't care if it was marketing for the game. This shit was amazing.
Everybody should go read the Witcher books.
Yeah.
I agree.
You should go read the Halo books too. And I don't mean that as a hate against you guys recommending for Witcher books. You generally should read the Halo books. Halo books. The first one, Fall of Reach, is very good. It
Halo lore.
is. Halo lore is actually really. Both games have lore. That's the problem with this comparison. They're both very good games, but we don't want to cop out and just say. Well,
I don't want to every single year
player.
go. It's an RPG, so it wins. Like I don't like that.
But it's all about the quality of the RPG.
And it wasn't as
So,
high
so
quality
if
as
someone
Halo.
released another RPG next year, I think it would be very difficult to top The Witcher 3. I really think that
If
someone
somebody
has got to have the
released
job.
an RPG next
Aspect
year
good.
that didn't have frame pacing issues, that didn't have fucking all kinds of awful things, and it was just as great as The Witcher, probably be Game of the Year.
We're talking Game of the Year here, not Shooter of the Year or anything like that. You got to take into account every part of it. Like, you can't leave out anything. You got to take into account how it runs.
I'm
what it's
talking about
missing,
the
what it's offering,
experience.
everything.
Like I said, my older brother loves RPGs, and even to this day, if I sell somebody an Xbox, I'm selling them Halo, especially 5, because it's fucking the definitive. It's great. It runs perfectly smooth. It makes you go, wow, this system's amazing. The level design's great. The story's amazing. You have multiplayer. You have everything. You have the full experience. Witcher's an amazing RPG. It's a multi-plat. And it runs kind of bad.
Should we go through all the games that
please.
won? Should we
Do
go?
you really want to go and look at frame rate tests? I can boot up Witcher right now. We could go. We don't even do a frame rate test. I'll hook up the Elgato. You can watch
but
it.
the Halo is trying to grab onto esports, which is a requirement unless you're going to play your PC version. Whereas The Witcher is just, I don't think it's such a necessity unless you got a 60 FPS PC version kicking around somewhere.
I don't know. Well, I picked Halo. Halo wins. Game of the Year. Xbox Uncut.
Can we go over all the games real quick that we chose?
That's
Yeah,
a
let's
long
go.
list.
Let's go down the list.
I know,
it
but
won't
let's just
take
go
long.
over it.
We're not going to really discuss them. I just want to go through the
right.
list, especially since we had 2 separate shows. So if you're only tuning into this show, go and check out the other show. But just episodic Game of the Year: Tales from the Borderlands. Even though we talked about how shitty the performance is, it's fucking amazing. Worst Game of the Year: 2015 Prototype Remaster. Yeah, it was the worst. He won that.
I won.
Shooter of the Year: Halo 5. Yeah, that was kind of hands down. Racing Game of the Year: Forza 6. Nobody else cared about any of the other games. Action Adventure Game of the Year: Ori and the Blind Forest. RPG of the Year: we had a tie.
No, I thought it was Witcher 3 that won.
Yeah, I
Witcher
thought it
3
was
won?
Witcher 3.
I
Okay,
fought
I
a
had it
valiant.
marked.
I fought a very valiant fight.
Okay, so Witcher 3 won RPG of the year. See,
Yeah.
you happy, Steve? A
Yeah.
little bit.
No.
Okay.
Yes, you fought
Indie game of the
valiantly.
year, aka Steve's game of the year, which
And I
I
didn't
don't
even
think.
fucking get to pick the game.
Yeah. I got to take that
Plague
part
Inc.
out. Plague Inc.
Plague Inc?
Incorporated, yeah.
We went and played it a little more too. It was really
Oh my
good.
god, so good. Sports game of the year.
Steve won this one.
Don Bradman's cricket. This is Steve's victory. Like, I don't see how Steve could be mad. Don Bradman's
won
cricket.
this.
Steve, do you have any comments? Like,
Well, that's because it's not just a regular yearly sports game. It actually improves the sport game significantly.
Steve, would you like us to give Witcher 3 Sports Game of the Year? Will that make you happy?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there
Deserves-
is horse racing. in it,
Deserves
so-
game
I
of
was
the
going to
year.
say it was. MMO, first-person shooter, or free-to-play, I'm sorry. Game of the year, World of Tanks. Early access game of the year, Layers of Fear was originally the winner.
That has changed.
That is now changed to Ark Survival Edition.
Yes.
Fighting game of the year, Mortal Kombat X. Remaster of the year, Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Games not on Xbox of the year, Rocket League. And guess what? We'll get it next year.
And then
Broken
it went
launch
into game
of the year.
as well.
Yeah. Broken launch of the year, Ori and the Blind Forest. DLC of the year, Destiny the Taken King. Best backwards compatible game of the year, Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise.
Yes.
Fucking yes! That's my big win. I will give you fucking game of the year, Steve, because I got Viva Pinata. I don't care anymore. I got Viva Pinata. I can give it an award. I'm so happy. It makes me feel good. It's such a great game. And I feel bad because Vern doesn't like it because I love that game so much.
Yeah, but Vern
Fine,
doesn't
man.
like. Vern
I
doesn't
got
like
I got my
fun
big
games.
wins. I got my
know.
big wins, man. I got the next two.
I didn't mark this game with gold of the year. What did we
It was
choose?
D4.
D4, yeah, that's right. D4 won that. Let me mark that. I'm sorry, I didn't mark it. I've been like doing shit. Game of the year 2015. Halo 5 Guardians. I'm sorry, Steve.
Sorry, Steve.
It's
Calm
been
down.
marked.
Calm down,
It's
Steve.
marked.
Calm down, Steve.
I won 4-1, man. No, 3-1. I'm sorry.
Should have fought for.
No, but I think Don Bradman's
yeah.
cricket is like a 3-pointer. Like that's like a fucking long
That was a
shot.
big win. That was a big win.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. I mean, don't get me wrong. You getting Halo 5 for Game of the Year, that's a shocker too. But Don Bradman's cricket, I mean, nobody saw that coming. Not by a fucking mile. Not by a mile. But this is the last award. Xbox Uncuts MVP. You are not allowed to vote for yourself. We have Steve Rules. This is number one. Dustin, me, myself, I.
This is
Jason,
the most valuable
Eric.
person.
Most valuable person of the show. The one and only Vern. Tim. And Chris.
I got Chris on the list. Happy.
Thanks, Jason.
You're welcome.
So are we gonna be like vocal and make our arguments? Is that how we're doing this again?
Oh,
Just
no,
like
no,
the
no.
other
This
ones?
is just bullshit. Like
This is like
fucking-
Pirates of the Caribbean. Just
I'm
choosing-
voting for Steve Rules. He is my
I'm voting
vote.
for. I'll be right back.
Okay.
What?
Not a
You're
vote.
voting for Eric? You're voting for Eric?
That sounds like a vote for Eric.
It's a vote for
It
Eric.
sounds like a vote for Eric, man.
I'm
It
taking
does.
it as a vote for Eric. Vern, where do you lie?
I'm voting Steve Rules, and the
Steve
reason
Rules.
is because every podcast needs a villain, and Steve fits that role. Yeah, he's British, like that's got the so you got I mean all like evil people are British, if you ever watch movies.
They do a really good job at it.
Yeah, exactly. So and every podcast needs a villain, and you're a really good villain. You're really pissy sometimes. You get really upset.
But you know your
it-
shit. You know your
But
shit. You're like
you
Lex
know your
Luthor.
shit, yeah. But it makes things fun, and you say things like the thing is, and the problem is, and
Well,
banana.
the thing is, Vern.
and we always have to tell you about all these like American culture things and new types of foods, and it keeps things fun. So I think
It's
you're,
really sweet that you think KFC's good. I mean, it's
yeah, we really like that.
All right. So
And
Jason,
we appreciate we appreciate your
Jason.
input, and and also, I mean, he knows all the games that are coming out.
Jason, do you want to tie up Eric's vote? Do you want to make it a tie, or you could you pick for somebody else, which as long as you don't vote for yourself,
I'm not voting Eric. He's not. He's probably least valuable. No. It's a tough one. I'm gonna say Dusty. I'm voting Dusty because you know what? Me and Dusty, not toot our own horns here. The editing for the show sucks. It really does. And once we finish doing the podcast, a lot of people don't know we're probably up till 1 a.m. just editing this shit and then uploading it. It sucks. So I'm just gonna give it to Dustin because Dustin's done a great job keeping the podcast going, hosting it every week, and he deserves the credit for it. Other than that, I'd go with Steve because Steve's always here. And I appreciate that. You're here too, Vern.
I'm changing my vote. It's not going away from Steve. I want to go with Mr. Punctual.
Who?
Mr. Punctual.
Oh, Tim?
I'm like, it's just a joke. All right? No. Steve, I'd like to congratulate you. You were Xbox Uncuts.
Hey, I didn't vote.
No, you voted for Eric.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Yeah,
who did you vote for?
When you got up and left, that's a vote for Eric.
No.
Your absence was
All right,
a vote for Eric.
That's true. All right.
Who are you gonna vote? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I was gonna vote for Eric, but I mean, I really wasn't. I'm gonna vote for Dustin just because. I mean, just like Jason said, he does a lot of work. I mean, he's fucking awesome enough to invite me on and let me on and talk and be silly sometimes. But I mean, it's a good show. From where you guys first started, I was there at the beginning because I love podcasts. I love video game related podcasts. I like Xbox centric podcasts personally. And I was there at the beginning, all the problems with the mic issues with Eric and Dustin and, watching you guys grow as a show and just everybody's voice being different and Dustin just being the captain holding the ship down. And it's just, yeah, man, you got to give it to Dustin. It's, yeah, or Eric. But Dustin should win Xbox MVP.
Who did Steve vote for?
I didn't get a chance to vote.
Oh, okay.
I've thought long and hard about this.
Long and hard.
Long and hard.
There's I was going to vote for a particularly good guy. He's a good friend of mine.
Thank you, Steve.
But I'm starting to think that one saint may have swayed me away from him. Why are you laughing, Vern?
Was it Vern?
I just think it's funny.
I was gonna vote for Tim because I liked him. Tim's a good guy. But
It's a good choice.
What one saint said really resonated with me. So now it's a toss up between if I vote for Dustin, then I also lose.
It's true. But if you vote for anybody else, because you can't vote for yourself, we end up in a tie.
And before one saint voted for Dustin, I was going to win, so I was going to vote tactically to ensure that I did win. But now that one saint's fucked me over with that one, this will not be forgotten. Next year's awards, you're going down, sunshine. And what one saint said was true. Dustin. To us, it was Vern who was like, "You should come on the show. You should come on the show." And I eventually I did it, and I was like, "Oh man, this is really good." And then the week after, Vern was like, "Oh, we're a person down or something. You should come on again." I was like, "Okay, that's good." And then ever since then, I've been welcomed into the Xbox Uncut family with open arms. Give me a tear of my eye.
And then we pulled everything good to you away.
and then I got fucked over in this Game of the Year awards.
It's true.
And we just tore you down.
Didn't get best indie. Didn't get best Game of the Year.
No.
But what I'm going to say is, and I've actually rethought this. So I'm now going to change my vote again. I'm going to go for my man Vern.
Yeah.
Because without Vern, I would never have been exposed to the awesomeness of Dustin as the host and everyone else. And me and Vern, we have our disagreements, mainly because Dragon Age Inquisition is garbage, and I need him to see it one day. But Vern was the one that got me into the show, and it's been a hell of a ride, and there's going to be a lot more in 2016. So thank you, Vern.
Well, we got sad news. We're ending this tomorrow.
Can I change? Can I change my vote?
No.
I can't. I want to vote for Eric. Here's why. That will instantly make Steve lose and me win.
No, you can't do that. How many votes did Vern have before I voted for him?
None.
Okay, so that means that it's a tie between me and Dustin.
No, yeah, it's a tie. It's a tie.
Oh.
Fight.
Funny thing was that I was going to vote for Dustin after what one sentence said, and then I was like, "Well, how did I get on the show?" And it was all Vern. So I was like, "I'm gonna vote for my friend Vern." We're
But
friends,
let me
Vern.
ask you this: Steve,
We are friends.
who kept you on the show?
Ooh. He's got a point.
Well, that's true. But ask me again next year.
I'll ask you again next week.
We should do a best newcomer to the show. What do you guys
Best
think?
newcomer to the show.
Chris.
Who would be on that? Yeah, Chris.
Tim and Steve. Huh?
Yeah, it'd be the three
Well, no.
of you.
Well, Steve, you've been on here over a year now, right?
No,
Or
I started in February.
That's right. Yeah.
Quietest member, Eric.
Well, that's a no contest. He'd always
Yeah,
win.
it would be Tim and Steve. Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year.
No, Chris is in there though,
Yeah.
and it would be the three of us voting on it. They wouldn't have a choice.
So we're doing a rookie of the year too.
Yeah, let's do a rookie of the year. Who do we think's been
Well,
the rookie
who
of
won?
the year?
Who won MVP though?
Nobody did. It's a tie
a
between me
tie?
and Steve.
Well, I think we need to break the tie in Twitch chat.
Twitch chat. Who deserves to be MVP of the year?
Yeah. You could always vote for the guy that started the podcast right here. But,
Hey, we started to vote Eric. Yeah, it's always, yeah.
We can't have ties here.
We don't like ties.
you can't
But,
vote for
you
Eric.
know what? Screw, because we only have 11 people in Twitch chat. Steve from Mickey
Yeah,
Worm.
Mickey Worm. Mickey Worm's a great guy. Always loved him. Top bloke, Newcastle fan.
How
Mickey
dare you,
Worm?
Mickey?
I say,
Matthew Jones.
Well, no, Matthew, it's got to be between Steve and Dustin at this point.
No,
That's
let's not discount him. If it's between me and Dustin, he votes Tim, then that still counts as me.
That's dirty.
Oh, Vern.
you cut me deep, people. Cut me deep. Cut me deep. I just want to announce this is the last podcast I'll be on.
Editing or uploading.
All right. Well,
Come on, Twitch.
Oh, for God's sake. Sunderland. My friend. Sunderland.
Sunderland, Dustin, because Steve
Nice.
supports Chelsea. It's tie again.
Sunderland.
It's a
I'm
tie
not being
again.
funny, but I've been so depressed this week after the ongoings at my wonderful football
Now
club.
Steve's winning again.
Yes.
Wicked. Choose.
Do it, Wicked.
Wicked's
Make
the
it a tie.
tiebreaker.
No, it'd be a tie again if you voted.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, Wicked can determine it. If you pick Steve, I mean, it's not going to go the other way. So we'll have to wait and see what he
Wicked.
says.
Think of our time with pumped
Wicked.
BMX
Think
bikes
of all
together.
the times that I actually uploaded a show so you could listen to, so you had something awesome
Dustin,
throughout the week.
That's not fair.
The amount of time and work and effort I put into so you could watch it on Twitch.
It's just cheating.
The amount of
People
effort
listening.
and
People
much in grandstanding, the time that I've taken out to help these guys get their audio just right so it's good for your ears and not just mine.
Good soul. What does your soul tell you? Tells you stay wrong.
Just think, Wicked, of just the amount of pleasure you've gotten from this podcast and who made that possible. And it wasn't Steve Rules.
Oh,
'Cause
it
you can go to
definitely was.
steverules.com and
Well,
you can see
Wicked-
articles that have been sitting there for 3 months that haven't been updated, and he just finally wrote 2,000 words. I give you something every week, ready to go, news ready, great intros from fucking Chris, one saying, I make sure that shit gets together. We work together as a team.
Oh, things changed. Mickey just said I thought the vote was between Steve and Tim. No, the vote is between
Mickey, let's just...
Steve
You know, me and your bros.
Dustin.
Who played FIFA with you, Mickey? Who played FIFA with you?
Hey, Mickey, who stopped playing with you, Mickey? Because I know this.
If Mickey picks Dustin and the Wicked Soul picks Dustin, you lose, Steve.
This is great entertainment right now.
I'd like to announce
Us
the
yelling at
show.
Twitch chat.
It's at the Twitch chat now. They gotta come
Xbox
through.
Uncut 2. Now it's first.
While we're waiting, we can always vote on our rookie real quick.
Yeah, rookie. I'm gonna go with Chris because he does an awesome fucking soundtrack. Don't get me wrong. I love Mr. Punctual. Steve is my MVP. But if I'm going rookie of the year, I gotta give it to Chris. Have you heard those intros and outros?
Just pointing out that it's now 3:38 a.m.
You would be up anyway.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Can't prove
It
that.
is.
But it is true.
No, I'm sorry. That's immaterial.
It's not necessarily true, but it is true.
Hey, look. I've had a long day.
So Steve can't vote then. He's a rookie.
No, Steve doesn't have a vote in this.
Yeah. So neither does Chris.
Wait.
Jason
Wicked's
and
gonna
Jason.
choose.
Well, let's finish this first, and we'll announce it. Jason.
I'm voting Chris. The
Wow.
intros are awesome. Thank
Okay,
you,
I'm
Chris.
gonna vote Steve. I still love you, Chris, but Steve's my man. So, yeah, but you win, Chris.
Hooray!
Chris, you're the
I
rookie of the
win.
year.
I won twice today. I feel great.
But you lost, Witcher. How will you
Mr.
ever?
Rules. Wicked chose Mr. Rules.
MVP is Steve Rules.
Wait a second, because if Mickey...
Wait. Yeah, you're right. We still got Mickey.
Mickey! Mickey!
No,
I love Dustin too. You don't love me, Wicked.
you didn't
I
vote
can
for him,
tell.
you don't love him.
No,
You tossed
even
me
if
the
Mickey,
gutter. No, yeah.
Sunderland and Wicked Soul and who else?
Sunderland
Who
chose
else?
me.
Okay, who voted
They were
Steve?
They were,
So they each have one vote? Oh no, Matthew wrote Steve Rules too.
Mickey.
So no, I don't think
no,
you can't win
Mickey
even with Mickey.
chose me, and Mickey, it would tie it back up, wouldn't it?
No, because it's Matthew and
Damn it, chat
Wicked
room.
Soul. Oh yeah, it would tie. It would tie. Okay, we got another tie.
Yes, we got a tie. Well, we're just gonna leave it at a tie.
we're gonna do the coin flip. We're gonna do the coin flip. Okay, so Dustin comes before
Do we need
S.
to do
so
a coin flip?
heads,
Wait a second.
Yes, heads is
Burn,
Dustin,
burn.
tails is
Should-
Steve. We're gonna
wait,
leave this
wait
to
a
the
second.
fates.
Burn. Should you do emails?
Yeah, I gotta do emails, but we still gotta do the coin flip.
No, I meant choose through email.
And announce it next week. Cliffhanger.
Hold on a second. I can see that smack on Dustin's face. You smug bastard.
Wait a second. Prophecy just put Steve Rules for president, though. That
Yeah.
might be a tiebreaker.
yeah, but that's not a vote.
Yeah, but
Prophecy
not
is
a
not a
vote.
vote.
If
It's
he
not a
thinks
vote,
I'm going to be
Prophecy.
president, that's like
He
president of
can't.
the world.
He was not a natural-born citizen. He cannot be president of the United States. All right, flip the coin. Flip it.
Okay. All right. So Dustin
Prophecy
is
says Dustin for president.
nice. He likes two presidents.
This is
Okay.
garbage.
So heads is Dustin. Tails is Steve. And flip. Oh, that wasn't a good flip.
If it lands on its side, it's me.
Wait, which one am I?
You're tails, and you win. You won.
Justice.
Steve Rules.
Viva Viva Pinata!
By choice of our true Savior Jesus Christ.
I would like to.
I wanted to see that coin flip.
like to dedicate this victory to my friends at CD Projekt Red in Poland. You were fucking robbed of Game of the Year. One of the best games of all time.
We're actually going to send out rewards
and
that
I
say
just
you're
want-
fucking
I
robbed.
just want you guys to know that next year, The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine will be DLC of the year. I'm telling you guys right now,
He's calling a shot.
I'm working on the plan. It has begun. I've seen the concept art, I've seen the screenshots. I will be making a dossier. You guys are a shoe-in. Big it up. Respect.
Oh my god, the turmoil.
Back.
God bless
Terrible.
Poland.
Respect ya.
Steve, if I could shake your hand, I would.
But we have never seen you
That's it.
before.
That's it. We could like tap microphones. That could be like. There you go. That's about as close as we're probably ever going to get.
Now
I'm
that
sorry
you're
to everybody listening.
Now that you've won, why don't you go on the camera? Turn that little camera on.
No,
Yeah.
I said
As
that-
MVP, we need a photo.
I said there
Need a
were.
photo.
It was
What
a
if we put on the wall?
Steve.
Flash
It
a
was a
little
photo
smile.
finish. It was a photo finish. I should get a photo.
What are we going to put on the website? If we don't have a picture for it on the website, Dusty will.
And that picture of the fridge magnets. That's a pretty bitch picture.
Hey,
isn't it?
hey, Wicked. I think you should change your vote to me because at least you see me on camera. No. All right, no, but seriously, Vern, I hear we got letters.
We do. We have 3 letters, and we're going to fly through them pretty quickly because this podcast has been going on a little while. The first one is from Will. I don't know if he's written in before. I think I recognize the email address, though, so he may have. He says, "Hey, Xbox Uncut crew, happy holidays. I was thinking of the state of certain franchises and would like to know where you see the companies taking them versus where you'd like to see them. Number 1, Fable. Number 2, Metal Gear. Number 3, Devil May Cry or DMC. Number 4, Forza Horizon 3. Yeah, so the Forza Horizon series. Also, what other improvements to the dashboard would you like to see? Personally, I'd like to see achievements stop being an app and become more integrated into the dash. Anyway, keep up the good work, Will. P.S. I'm on to you, Jason, but your secret is safe with me."
I'm kind of scared. What did I do?
I don't know. This should be a to be continued. Hopefully he writes in next week and explains this.
I feel like I'm missing something really obvious. If you guys get photos in the email next week, just delete them.
So, what I would want on the dashboard, I'm gonna throw it out real quick, is
Okay.
I want to dedicate it just a giant button in the middle of the dashboard, Vern, and it's just The Witcher 3, so I can instantly get into that greatness.
Fuck you, Dustin.
You know,
Right, you want to fucking go? I'll wreck you.
Hey,
since we're talking about giant things in the screen,
you're in luck, Dustin, because on the PS4 they did that with Destiny. They put it
yeah,
right in the middle.
that's true.
Right there for you.
It's true. It's true. And it automatically downloaded too.
Yeah,
Did it?
yes it did.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, sorry.
They were like, "Hey, you know what? You need a 60 gigabyte game.
We need to
Don't
wreck
forget
that
to pay
cap.
for it." Oh my God.
Anyway, what did I say? Oh, yeah, since we're talking about space on the screen, I think the last game you've played could be a little bit smaller. That way, they could fit more of the last games and apps you've played. That would be a nice thing.
Ooh,
And I do agree with the dashboard achievements not being an app. Right now, they are an app actually, but there's an achievement tracker that's an app. But it would be nice if somehow they worked that into the left side rather than the snap side, I think. So yeah, I agree with you there too.
well, the problem is with the achievements is that they went and made the dashboard better, but they still didn't actually get an Xbox 360 in front of them and say, why is this better?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't need to, and I know that they'll talk about all the server-side stuff to stop people cheating. I don't give a fuck, I don't cheat, right? They don't seem to realise just how instantaneous the 360 is on 1/16 of the RAM.
Yeah,
It is
the
instant.
double tapping
It
for the
loads.
menu just doesn't make any sense.
What-
It needs to be
what
a single tap.
Your profile needs its own, your profile needs its own tab at the top.
So does achievements.
I mean, yeah, but the achievements will be in that. Because that's where they are. So it needs to your profile, and it's one of the little drop-down menus. Cause if
Yeah,
you go
but they
to
need
your...
a shortcut to achievements as well, I think.
Okay, well that's fine, but they need to have it at the top, right? This calendar app that they've made is fucking garbage. Stick it in community. The store is actually much better now. I'm really pleased, but they do need to stop putting like 4 different versions of a game for every version on there. You need to just have one fucking page for, I don't know, whatever game, and then you click on it.
Steve, this is where we can agree. They just need to show the game hubs. You don't need to have every version of the game. Just show just have a game hub tile that is the game, and you can click into the Game Hub, and then from the Game Hub you can say, oh, I want the Super Premium Awesome Amazing Edition, or I want this edition, or like this, and it can all be done in the Game Hub.
Yeah, well, this is another thing.
And
is
only
that
give me one freaking icon.
No one fucking uses game hubs, right? Why is it that there are patches that I'm downloading patches and there isn't, and it doesn't tell me where they are? What's the point in game hubs? It doesn't take. Fucking Microsoft can upload it themselves if nobody else will fucking do them, right? Does
Well,
anyone
game
notice?
hubs have the achievements on a page. They have the what,
But
like
no one uses them.
uh,
No
I,
one
I
uses them.
I actually like the game hubs. I just think they should go straight
Be
to
more
them, like
front and
Dustin
center.
say. Yeah, yeah.
They are useless, and no developer uses them because the whole point is that they're there to interact with people,
Right.
but
A
no one
community
uses
thing.
them.
Hmm.
Even some Microsoft games, you'd think, oh, Microsoft, their own developer would
Yeah,
use
but
them.
I like the game hub because you also see how many hours you played it. You see the leaderboards on it. You see the achievements. You see all the things you need to see. I think the game hubs need to stay there. I like that
Oh,
actually.
I'm not saying they should get rid of them. I'm saying that they should fucking tell people that they need to use them. Because why do I not have patch up? Excuse me, that was embarrassing. Why do they not have patch notes? Why are you sending me a fucking patch and not telling me what's in the fucking patch? I shouldn't have to go fucking sprawling all over Google to find out what patch you've added.
Hey,
It
just to
should be
shoot it out there
mandatory.
real quick, Steve, Mickey uses Game Hubs.
Well, that's good for Mickey. I wrote in the Quantum Break one the other day because they left a message.
I think you should change your vote, Mickey.
Well, no, he already
Mickey,
voted.
I would
he already-
care about you.
He already voted for Dustin. He's
Oh, did he? Okay,
he's
never
a,
mind.
he's a
I'm sorry.
traitor, and me and him are going to have
Double
serious
vote
fights.
for
That's
Dustin.
what's up.
Honestly, and this may make me sound like a traitor. I like the way PlayStation 4 does it because you scroll over the game and then when you press down on it, it automatically goes right into a game hub that suddenly opens up. So something along those lines, I don't know how they could implement it exactly, but something with that
Just
kind
have
of
one icon.
design
And it just
would
goes
be
straight
really
in the Game
nice.
Hub.
Or maybe if it said press X for Game Hub when you're
Yeah.
hovering over the game in the
Or copy
in your My
Windows
Games and
Phone
Apps, you know,
and have actual live tiles
instead
that
of like
actually
pressing
flash
the
information.
menu button and then go into Game Hub. You know what I mean? It's not intuitive. They do have to work on that for sure.
All
They
right.
should
Well,
also
let's
they
talk
should still
about.
live tiles so they can have information that actually flashes that updates that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, that too would be nice. But
Does anybody
anyway,
have another
we
feature?
probably need to go to the
Sorry.
rest. Yeah.
Well,
Chris,
the
did
thing
you have-
I just want to say the thing I want him to get done is background music. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, it's the popular one.
Chris, did you have any?
I agree. Just background music.
Okay. Where do these franchises you think Metal Gear Solid? It's going right down in the toilet because
That's an interesting one. I
Wow.
wonder is Konami just going to give it up? They say they're going to make more games. So do you think?
They've said that they are now hiring for a new Metal Gear Solid game. Well, a new Metal Gear game.
So what do you think's going to happen with that? Like,
On Android.
They've never turned around and specifically said that they're never going to make a console game. They very specifically clarified that is not what they said. They won't be making many internally, including even the stuff that was actually more popular, like all the dancing crap.
so do we
But-
think they're going to partner with someone for Metal Gear, or is this going to be
They're
internally?
they're
for
going to do
sure?
it internally, so that they've got
Yeah.
all the power over it. But
Yeah.
I don't see it going anywhere.
I bet you it's
Specifically,
another Revengeance game.
I bet
Nah,
you'd
well,
end
yeah,
up
but
on
they
phone.
won't do that because fucking. To be fair, one of the reasons why Kojima was out on his arse because he spent so many years fucking around with that, rather than just making fucking Metal Gear Solid 5. Even if it had ended up being, well, he did make it. He made it on fucking PSP. Or was it? No, it was PSP.
This PSP, yeah, Peace Walker.
But and to be fair, it's actually a really good game. I've played it. It's a fucking great Metal Gear game as well. But he spent all these years fucking around. They're not going to do something like Revengeance. Like if they do, they'll just give it to Platinum again. Like they won't do that internally. They'll just. I'm telling you, there'll be a Metal Gear and they'll get out quickly. They've already got the engine. It works on everything. I reckon it'll be out in 3 years.
All
But
right,
I
what
think-
were the other games?
Fable.
What was the context, though? It was games that are going in a direction, but you want them to go in another direction?
Well, no, like
Just where you think they're going.
where do you think they're going to go versus where you'd like to go, where you'd like them to go?
Depending on the success of Fable Legends, I think you'll either if Fable Legends is a success, I think you'll see another RPG. But if it completely flops, they might hang Fable out.
I'll disagree. I think there'll be a proper Fable.
No matter what.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
I think Legends has nothing to do with it. They've already said Legends is free to play. Yeah, they're spending a ton of money on it, and they're hoping it's a hit. From what I've played or heard, it's I enjoy it, or I've heard people and say they'd enjoyed it. But I think there will be a proper Fable. I think I would even go to say I would not be surprised if we hear something at E3 or Gamescom.
I'm just gonna say I didn't spend money on Fable Legends characters, and I don't like it.
Fern, you're a traitor to
Hint,
the
hint,
cause.
wink, wink.
How much did you spend?
I didn't spend about $20.
Fucking hell, Van. You are literally the worst person I know. I'm telling you, we are done.
As far as Horizon 3,
I don't do that to my friends.
As far as Horizon 3, where I want it to go is Tokyo. I know that's
Or
not completely
Japan in
sexual.
general. Yeah.
Or Japan in general. Where it's really going to go is somewhere with large open areas like Eastern Europe or Colorado. Sadly.
The plains of Africa.
Yeah, the plains of Africa is probably a good guess.
Australia would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
now, they
Australia
were
would be
thinking
awesome.
Australia was on the table for Horizon 2. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt if they went to Australia, but I want them to go to Tokyo or
Yeah, I
Japan.
want snow. You know,
Yeah,
and
and they
like,
could do
and-
snow with Japan.
in Japan,
so.
Japan they can do all the weather. You know.
Yep.
Were there any other games?
Devil May Cry.
I don't care. I don't have a horse in this race.
Yeah, me neither.
Can I just
I
go
like
back to Fable?
DMC, but whatever.
Yeah, go back to
and
Fable.
look, I have no interest in Fable Legends. I'm sorry, I just don't care. If I was going to go and play that sort of game,
You'll
I'll
like
go
it
and
when you
f-
play with
I'll
us.
go and play something else. I've no intention of downloading it.
You'll play it.
I got. I'm sorry. Look. I've got like 15 other games I want to play. I've got Gears I want to play multiplayer. I'm sorry. I just have no interest. What they should be doing and what they should be making next is they should be looking at the big budget RPGs and how they're doing. I'm not just talking about The Witcher.
I agree.
Dragon Age sold well. Fallout has fucking sold ridiculously. The Witcher sold ridiculously. They should be looking at these fucking ridiculous scaled RPGs and saying, why the fuck are we not making one of those?
Like
as-
what
as
Guerrilla
fake-
is doing
as-
with Horizons.
And
Horizon
if they
Zero
wanna do-
Dawn. Yeah,
and if
Horizon
they
Zero
want
Dawn.
to do it as Fable, I really don't fucking care because it could be great. It could be great, and I really do believe that Lionhead are a good studio, but they're probably not going to do it because if Fable Legends is a success, Microsoft are all about games as a service, and I think that games as a service is just fucking easier to do if you're doing it as a free to play game like that. They will just make more of those, and you know what? If that's what they want to do, fine. I'm not interested.
Well, no, if Fable Legends is a success, they're going to do Season 2 and Season 3 and Season 4
but they
and
don't
Season
need.
5,
But they've got. But that's not going to be all they're making. They're going to have another full AAA game going, but it will just be another service-based game.
Probably, because
not-
what
it will
they'll
not be an
do is
RPG.
they'll build the team and have like a team as maintenance and new content for Fable, and then a separate team make a new game. Yeah.
You know, it's
So-
easy to jump their shit saying they should just do another RPG. Why the hell they do this? But then you also have the problem where the community goes, "Oh, they're just doing another Fable.
Well, then go and
It's
make
just
a new
another
IP.
Fable."
You know,
Yeah, but that's
they
the
were
thing.
they were the ones that
That's
said
what
that they were
people are
making
doing.
a new
People are
IP.
still doing it now. Like if they went somewhere different with Halo, people even are going, "Oh, it's just another Halo." But if they did something other than Halo 5, people would be sitting back like you are right now, complaining, "Why didn't we just get another Halo?" I mean, it's easy to sit back and go, "They should have just done another Fable RPG." But then you have half the community just yelling about how they want something different.
But they
and
already
more
did something
variety.
different in the journey. It's not like this is
Yeah.
the first. What pisses me off is that they did a spin-off, okay, and it sold like garbage.
Yeah, but the
and it did
journey
sell
was a
like
cash
garbage.
grab for Connect. It
Well,
wasn't.
it doesn't matter why they did it. The fact is that it's been 5 years since Halo since Fable 3.
Yeah,
5
and Fable
years.
3 was poorly received.
Sold a
It's
fuckload of
sold
units.
incredibly well.
Sold a fuckload of units. Sold like 5 million, if not 6. There
Yeah,
was a-
so what's a great way of getting this game out to more people other than making it free to play, putting the big name on it?
I think
And
the
there's
free-to-play
these
change
huge-
happened after the initial response to Fable Legends, personally.
No way. That game was made free to play from the beginning.
From the beginning, you
They
think?
just when I played at a preview event in 2014, it
Yeah.
was pretty fucking obvious the direction they were going. it required an online connection. He literally said to me, "I've got a laptop here that is tricking the Xbox into thinking it's online."
Okay.
But they knew that they didn't want to turn around and say anything because they knew that the second that people had free to play, they wouldn't like it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for writing in.
Yeah, thank you, Will.
Appreciate it.
Write again.
Yes.
Make
Tell
us
us
argue
what-
more.
Tell us what the secret is. I know
Yeah.
it's safe with you, but we'd like it not to be safe. And
Now
we
I'm
wanna share
scared. I'm
it. Yeah,
scared.
we want to share it.
I always knew that Jason guy was dodgy.
You know who's
Sharing is
dodgy?
caring.
This prophecy guy. He
No,
said
I'm in
he
it for
voted
it.
Team Bernia for host
No.
of the decade.
Oh yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
Okay, I got another. This isn't a letter, it's a tweet, but I want to get it out of the way. This is from Special Ed. He says, "Hey guys, very quick one for Game of the Year 2015. It was pretty damn hard for me to separate Ori from Tomb Raider as they're both effectively Metroidvanias, which I love, but I probably have to give the nod to Tomb Raider, mainly because it's Meteor, and it's obviously a little more than a pure Metroidvania in 3D. Special Ed, Vern, feel free to pronounce it Special Ed if it makes life easier. No, it doesn't make life easier. I like saying Special Ed. It's more fun. So,
It makes it more special.
yeah, and there's definitely people who agree
Special.
with you as with Tomb Raider being better than Ori. So that happened. So you're not alone.
Tomb
Can I
Raider is
just ask
better than Ori.
on the Tomb Raider front, how many of you have completed Expeditions mode? In fact, how many of you have even touched it?
I haven't touched it, but I heard it's good.
I've got 2 levels left, and so I've got gold medals in every level. I'm better than all of you.
And this is who you vote for your most vacant personality.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, I never told you what MVP stood for, did I, Steve?
Ooh.
Most vacant personality. Put it up as the
Well, Eric
the
should have
name
won
of the
that.
podcast.
All right, I'm going back and voting Eric.
I thought you were going to put like most valuable prick or something.
No, just most vacant.
He still would have won.
All right.
Yeah, you clearly showed that so far,
Jason,
Steve.
do you want to fight? Do you want to fight?
Hey, I already got one enemy with
Vern
Will.
called
I guess.
it. Vern called it. You were the perfect enemy, Steve.
So this is
Villain.
I'm just being victimized now.
Dustin is the host of the
Are you
century.
triggered?
Okay, we're good now. Prophecy.
Fucking triggered.
This is garbage. I
And
quit.
Steve is host of this entire generation.
And me too. For the decade.
See,
All right.
Prophecy is a great guy.
Lieutenant Dan Ice Cream. All right. Inside joke. Vern.
Okay, and this is the
Next
last letter. This one is from the Wicked Soul. He says, "Hey, you dudes," with a Z. "Since year is pretty much over, I'm thinking into the future. I like to think I'm an okay achievement unlocker. I'm not good as the top guys, though. They have no life. LOL.
Yes, Steve.
Yeah,
I want
fuck
you guys to
mate.
challenge me
If you
to a
wanna fucking
gamer
go, I
score
will
challenge."
take you down.
Hey, Steve, shut up. Let me talk.
Sorry.
I'm just playing. You can talk. He says, anyway, I want you guys to challenge me to a gamer score challenge. Set me a gamer score goal to reach before the end of 2016. My gamer score is 227,855 as of December 18th, 2015 at 8:31 a.m. I'm getting this out of the way this week so I don't finish easy gamer score games. I can stream this challenge too. I hope you guys choose a good goal for me. Try not to go overboard with it. I'm not that good at this. Your friendly neighborhood achievement unlocker, the Wicked Soul. Okay, I gotta say, I've seen the Wicked Soul do 4,000 and 5,000 achievement points a month. So
I was gonna say 230, but
Gamer score is right.
yeah, right now,
227, 885.
but I've seen him do 4,000 and
300.
5,000 a month. Some up to 7,000. I think I saw him do 1 month.
300.
So I say we should. I think we should average at least 5,000 a month, or is that too much? Maybe 4,000 a month.
It's for the end of this year, right?
No, next year.
Next year. Oh.
300,000, if not more, like 310.
I would say 250 is a little bit more realistic.
Didn't say he's on like
Look,
230.
I'm calling it props or Wicked. I want you to get
Okay.
$1 million.
Okay, it's 48,000 if he gets 4,000 a month. That's 48,000. And currently he is
Yeah,
at
so we got
200. So should we do 275 or 300? Because that's
300.
300 would be a big deal.
yeah, exactly. But you got to challenge him. Like this guy's
It's
a
true.
pro. You can't,
It's-
you know.
It's
you
true.
don't-
He does
you don't-
7,000 a month sometimes. So
Exactly.
if he does 7,000 a month, that's what, like That's 84,000. Oh yeah, that's doable. He can do it.
Yeah, well, I think we should go like 310.
No. That would
No,
just be
that's
we would
messed
we would
up.
we would kill him. We would be responsible for the
No,
death
you
of
just
one
no.
of our biggest fans.
We need to
Look,
do what's best for the
Steve.
indie community. Buy all
No,
the shitty indie games.
Steve, we need to do what's best for the podcast, not your indie games of the year. We need to do what's best for the podcast, and I need people to write into the show, and the Wicked Soul does that week after week. Why are you trying to kill the man? Huh?
I'm not trying to kill the man. I'm
Why are you trying to
give
kill
him
the
a
man?
challenge.
You tell me. No, this ain't a challenge. You're trying to kill him because he voted for... Stop going after Wicked. That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't
Well,
go after Wicked. I was tutoring him through Pumped BMX Plus. I don't think you understand the relationship that me and Wicked have got, Dustin.
All right, guys, we gotta hurry up because I need to eat and I need to change all my passwords. So,
Why do you need to change? Why do you need to change all your passwords?
because someone is apparently figuring something out about me, so we need to hurry this along.
Well, everybody knows that your password is clearly "I love Forza."
Well, let's just figure this out to make sure it's absolutely doable if we do 300 because that's 72,145 gamer score for the entire year. All right, let's put this divided by months. That's over 6,000 gamer score a month.
That's doable.
6,012. I kind of feel like we should put it to like 290 just to give him a chance.
I would think 275 maybe.
We got to bear in mind he's got like half.
275.
280.
280.
290.
280. I
You
think
got to challenge
290.
him.
285.
300.
Okay, let's do 285.
Sold.
I think
no,
two, I think
no,
no, really. I think
290.
285. I think 285, 290. That's
290.
a tough one.
Toss a coin.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about 285?
Here we go. We'll toss a coin. 85 is
Get the coin
heads. 90 is tails. It's tails. It's 290.
Justice.
Oh, we're gonna kill Wicked.
Fucking 2
Okay,
for 1
so
on these
Wicked,
now.
you can do this.
Bearing in mind, also you got to bear in mind is that 2016 is a leap year, so he does get an extra day, and the 12 days left of this month. So it's not like we're not being fair. That's an extra 2 weeks. In which case, that is like like 3,000 if we look at 6,000 a month. So that's pretty fair.
That is 5,178 gamer score per month.
So if
That's
anything,
That's doable.
it's too easy. We need to go 3,000, 300,000.
No, we
No,
don't.
no.
I'm
I think
calling
we-
it. It's 290. We're
flipped.
done.
We flipped. It's 290.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
290.
Wicked Soul, 290,000. That's your challenge. Go. And do you want to stream? He said.
You said that, and I was just expecting something to happen. I was like, oh. I mean, that was what I was going to say. So
So go now. Get started. Stop
Yeah.
listening.
Well, no, he has to. Well, yeah, it's by next year. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
my advice, Wicked Soul, get yourself onto that store, get your mum's credit card out, and buy as many of those shitty indie games as you can. I'm telling you, you'll be done by this by March. What you need to do, Wicked Soul, is you need a spreadsheet. Spreadsheets are the key to everything. You get yourself a nice bitchin' Excel spreadsheet, and you'll be keeping track of this.
I got an
Booyah.
idea. How about we reevaluate his standing 6 months from now, and maybe give him a new challenge?
Yeah,
Go
because if
even
he
higher.
because if he knows that this challenge is coming,
Look, this
he
is
could be
not
wrecking
this.
us.
This we're not it's like the Major League Baseball Gamer Score Association. Okay,
No, this is just to challenge him to push harder, not necessarily to meet the original goal. You know what I mean? Just like, hey,
you can't kill the man.
not to get complacent. You know what I mean?
No one's trying to kill anyone.
Can't kill the man.
Oh Lord Jesus.
All right.
Anyway,
well,
thank you for
that's-
writing in.
Thank you so much,
Soul,
Wicked,
don't
for
die.
writing in. Thanks for tuning in on twitch.tv/Xbox Uncut. And thank you for tuning
Write
in.
us.
Yeah, you could write us at letters@xboxuncut.com. You can, just tell everybody how you think I deserve the MVP, because Steve's being a dick and he has roid rage. Like, it's just...
Telling you, Mickey, you're
I'm
getting
calling
me
you
in
out,
trouble. You're
Steve.
busting my balls
Speaking
here.
of Mickey, he just sent me a message over Xbox Live to eat off Arc. I just want to say no.
But we'll be back next week for a more normal show on Thursday. We're gonna make this happen. No, wait, what the fuck's
Wait,
Thursday?
no, next
Thursday's
week.
Christmas.
No, it's
Thursday's
Christmas Eve, man.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
busy, man.
So Christmas, Friday.
Yeah, Christmas Friday. Actually, next week we will not have a show. We will be taking it off. We're celebrating the holiday.
Listen to Steve. Oh.
What about the week after though? Because that's New Year's Eve, so
No, but that's
we should
We'll
try
do
to fit. We should try to do a holiday podcast in
Can we
between
not-
Christmas
Can we
and
not
New
just
Year's
do like
Eve.
some short ones on each Wednesday?
We're
I
gonna
was
do
gonna
one
say-
Christmas morning.
I
Like,
was gonna
talk
say
about
well,
what we've been playing.
maybe on like Saturday or something in between the in between the holidays, you know.
And we just do one on each Wednesday.
I have rehearsals on Wednesdays.
Oh, God damn it, Van! You pressed them balls. Vern's
I
not going to
might-
be here next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Look, next week we are taking the show off. I got a crazy work schedule.
Yeah.
And the week
Christmas.
after that's going to be really hard for me too.
We should try to fit something in between Christmas and New Year's, I think, though. If we can just find a slot, you know?
Yeah.
To
Finding
cover
the
both.
Slot. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
What
find
if
a
we
hole.
did? Well, you're busy Wednesday, right, Vern?
Yeah, always.
I was gonna say, what if we did a "What do you want for Christmas" show? But you're busy Wednesday.
Now, we'll figure this out. We'll post it on our Twitters or we'll have it somewhere.
It'll be
Probably
on
on-
Friendster for sure.
It'll be on Napster.
We'll put it on MySpace.
Yeah.
Oh, I love MySpace.
But
I like my
MySpace,
gaming
just
glitters.
check out the Xbox Uncut
Who's the
MySpace
guy
page.
that's always your friend on MySpace? Tim?
Tom.
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 Follow Tom. Tom will know.
Yeah, Tom will tell us. We'll have him on next week.
But we'll figure it out. I have a really weird schedule coming up.
But it won't be Thursday.
It will not be Thursday. I will let you know. But we will catch you later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for being patient. Thanks for listening to our Game of the Year podcast. We
And
will be back.
congratulations to Halo 5, the greatest game of the year
No,
on
don't rub it
Xbox.
in. Vern.
Congratulations, Halo.
Nah, you just rub
Congratulations,
it-
343 Studios.
I'll say congratulations.
I'm gonna get-